Nu zie ik uw hoofd. Bedoeling, ai. Zo eentje. Zeker niet aanwezig. Nee. Zet er maar gewoon zo SPQR of zo. Ook goed. Ik heb geen camera, gast. Ik snap dat jij dat wilt zien. Ik heb gewoon geen camera, nee. Ik heb een vaste PC, hoe moet je aan een camera komen? Ja, oké, maar ja, MSN is ook al lang dead, hè, gast. Waarom de fuck zou ik een camera nodig hebben? Ja, voor wat in uw tijd? Chatroulette? Zoiets. Ai, 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 ai. Ik hoor u.
Live moeten gaan. Ja, dat is goed dat je me hoort. Dat is al een goede start.
Dat is toch een goede soundcheck?
Ja, no worries. Komt goed zo. Even nog wat shit aan het doen. Deze goed zitten, boom. Alright. Ah. Waarom kan je niet? Ah, zo. Oké. Alright. Oké. Jij mocht eens praten even als je wilt.
Voelt die correct of niet?
En dan ga ik even luisteren.
Ja, wat moet ik zeggen? Dat ik zeer teleurgesteld ben in uw organisatorische skills of zo.
Ja, wie is hier een kwartier te laat? Oké.
Een kwartier te laat, jongen, zeg jij, jongen.
Ja, jij hebt half
12 minuten. Voelt die correct of niet? Ja, oké, jongen. Ik vertrouwde op de delivery skills van de fucking Dominos, maar moet ik zeggen. They let me down for a very average pizza. Ben in once again. zo. Maar ja, goed.
Ja, wie is hier een kwartier te laat? Oké.
Een kwartier te laat, jongen, zeg jij, jongen.
Ja, jij hebt
Nu
half
12
gezien.
minuten. Loopt die correct of niet? Ja, oké, jongen. Ik
Maar dat was even
zei hier
verwarrend.
allemaal.
Ik was de hele tijd aan het horen, maar jij werd tegelijk ook aan het praten, dus dat was dubbele voice. Oké, ik denk dat dat goed is. Ik heb ook mijn camera teruggefixt, want die was weer uitgevallen for some reason.
Het zou heel erg zijn dat uw volgers dat niet kunnen zien.
Ja, ik weet dat jij niet veel om production geeft, maar er zijn dingen dat we wel om moeten geven in het leven. En dat is één van de dingen dat ik om geef. Dus, suck it. Maar toch heel erg bedankt dat je de gast wilt zijn. Voor zij die dat dus niet weten... we haven't even talked in English yet. Oh shit. Alright, I think the sound check is good. So, thank you everybody for joining the BTB podcast number 15 with nonetheless Jesse. Is it okay if we talk in English or you prefer Dutch? Dutch is also possible.
English is fine, but how international is your audience?
My audience of currently 0 viewers is very international,
Yes.
so I think...
Okay, English will be... okay, I get it. Yes.
English
Very
will be very
necessary that all those
necessary
people,
to reach all the people indeed. And...
All 2 of them. Hey, Boris.
Hey.
I think it's a small chance.
So today we'll be talking about personal finance, and I guess the topic is related to your profession, is it not, Jesse?
Yeah, I think so. I am currently working as a financial advisor for people who don't go on the stock exchange themselves, and they look for solutions how to create wealth and get access to the stocks and obligations, not obligations, bonds, without putting much time in themselves. Just 1 or 2 times a year they come to me, I tell them do this, they say no, I want that, and we do that. It's quite
quite a back and forth.
Yeah, sometimes it's very emotional, while it should be very logical or rational, but everybody to each his own.
So I think a big disclaimer here is neither I nor Jesse is actually very profitable with the financial decisions we make. So everything we say or do or talk about is very...
Just short Tesla, it's all good.
People don't even know what shorting is. So everything we talk about is not even like advice you should really follow. It's more of an idea of what is out there and how you can fuck up your money if you follow us. So usually professionally, it's a gift that we're able to pick the wrong ones every time over
with
and over.
This disclaimer, I want to make a small adjustment.
Okay.
I might not be profitable, but there's nobody so, how do you say, not profitable as Bench. This guy has the gift to reset his personal finance every now and then, a few times a year. It's truly magnificent. I think you need to pick up.
Funny story. I was actually turboing last years and years before, and yes, have made a lot of fun about that. But actually, I've been clean for half a year now with the turboing. So.
And the crypto quick.
I'll clap for myself. Yeah, it's another funny story. I actually poured 1K last week into crypto quick. So So yeah, the crypto market crashed 20 minutes ago. So very nice. That's classic bench maneuver. So
the way we like it.
Without further ado, I think it's time to get a bit serious. As people know, we're not, or people have to know, like, our relationship between me and Jesse is...
No
is special. No, I forgot no homo indeed. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, bro, close one.
You got me. So we
will
make
not be
fun.
associated with you.
We make a lot of fun of each other, but at the end of the day, we really care about each other. And I know Jesse is probably gonna blah 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 and talk through it, and it's all okay. I know his feelings, he knows mine, and we all good friends in that perspective. I'm sorry, this was the last thing I will tilt you. I have to be very careful because otherwise you will be running away. And I'm not joking about that. All right, so what's on today's planning? We're gonna talk about personal finance, and we have to make sure that it's very understandable, or as much as understandable for newbies as possible, because I've got the remark that not much people in my close circles have that much knowledge about personal finance, so we really have to start from the beginning, I guess. And as you can see, I've also made a few ChatGPT questions. We don't have to go through all of them. And then I also have why is it not sharing the other screen? Windows. I just want the full. I see. Okay, that's what I did wrong. Okay, like now we get it. So I also have a little flowchart that was made by Reddit personal finance chat, and I was also wondering what your thoughts on that was. So I don't know, Jesse, do you have any preference in which order you want to start or what you want to talk about first? Otherwise, I'm just gonna steamroll you a bit, but...
You do you. I have no preference. Maybe start with the first one.
Alright, so how I saw it starting is just go through each of these topics a bit, and we just explain a bit what it is and what you think about it or what I think about it. And then we can go to the flowchart. Is that something you think is good?
All good. Yeah.
Ah, perfect. So if anybody else has some other questions, drop them in the chat and we'll leave them, or we'll review them at the end of the episode. But without further ado, let's get into it. You ready? I got all.
Do I have to look at something because I'm looking at naked women at this moment?
Ah, that's perfect. Don't ban me for that, but yeah, you don't have to look at anything. I'm just gonna ask you the questions that I've written down here, or ChatGPT written down. So, we also have another nice thing. Maybe at the end we can review my my budget planning and stuff. Maybe that's something you are more interested in.
Do I get to control your budget, or?
Nope, but you can see how much I'm doing and how much money I'm losing. I guess that is something you are interested in, no?
Oh, that's my fuel for this week. All right.
That's the thing you try for, which the only reason why we're friends is so you can feel better about not losing as much money.
yeah, you're the benchmark. If it ever gets as bad as you,
then you know you fucked up.
For life.
In game. He meant in game. Okay. Let's start with the first topic, budgeting and saving. Maybe my first question is to you. Do you have a budget?
In a sense, in a way, I have a budget. When my salary comes on my account, I save and invest first, and then what's left in my checkings account, that's my budget. And if there's something left at the end of the month, right, I can put it in something stupid like Napoleon games or whatever, betting on football matches. But my budget revolves around my goals. Like I want to save X amount of money and I want to invest X amount of money. So that's what I do first.
Do you have an idea of the verhouding, the ratio of which how much you save and how much you expense?
Oh, expense.
Wow. Or expense on just regular, like...
I think I only spent around, let's say 40% of my salary. So yeah, that
You
leaves
save
quite a big.
you save or pay
Yeah.
down on loans with 60% of your income.
Yeah, at this moment I'm saving and investing, like saving up for the pension. That goes for, I think, a small 200 each month. Then I have Prometheus with you, it's 175.
Mm-hmm.
To my savings account, my personal saving account is 500. Then there are a few smaller things I'm not ready to share with the world yet, but yeah, some things I
Few
think
smaller
it
things.
amounts, yeah, with Yoshi and stuff like that. Doesn't
Ah,
matter that
okay,
much.
yeah, no
But
worries.
I have a lot of little groups with different friends, and those are not notable at this point, but they are. The goal is that will be notable sometime in the future. Maybe not now, maybe not in 5 years, but the very long run.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, spending money for me is a secondary um, goal. It's never a goal, but I mean it comes. It's not a priority
Yeah.
in the way from I have my basic needs met with. I think if I spend 25 or 30% of my salary, all what's extra, that's okay. It's okay, but I don't need it every month.
So your priority is actually the 60% saving, and then the
Yeah,
40% is just what's left.
yeah. It's a lot of it goes to the joint account with my girlfriend for paying rent, eating
Yeah.
food and stuff like that. That has to happen, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that I have an X amount of money set for each month to have like a nice dinner or stuff like that. That's if it's possible at the end of the month or in the beginning of the month, it's fine. I will not look that much at my bank account. So if my card gets declined, I guess that's it for the month. That's that's how I view my situation. I want to make sure my savings and my investments are done first, and let's see how far the month gets.
Okay.
It's not that tight, but it's how I prioritize things at this moment. There will be a time in the future it will not be the same, but at this point it's the best I can do.
Well, I like that. I think if you can follow me for a little bit on what I'm sharing, I think for me it's pretty similar actually. Now that I think about it, so I have about 900, 1,000 euro 20 that I spend each month, and then I'll have about 1,300 euros that I will put into the future. So I think it's also
Hmm.
about 60% of my income that I'm probably gonna use for the future. Um,
Hmm.
and I've also like started doing what you said, get that money out first, and then actually leave the rest of it on my account. And at the end of the month, I might have like 6 euros left in my bank account, and that's it. Like I think.
De skere Tony Teden. It's very important to learn how to live with $20. I
Yeah,
think it's a skill. It takes a skill.
I think that's going actually pretty well. Last month I both time or last 2 months I both times was able to stay within the budget I planned. So yeah, I think that's
Mhm.
very essential maybe for people that start out invest or
Yeah,
want to
and
invest, that they first have to understand how much they're expanding towards life
yeah,
generally.
there's a general rule. When I talk with savers, to
Mm-hmm.
people who haven't invested at one point in their life, maybe pensioenspaar, but that's it. People who are brought up with a savings account, and that was it. We always have to look at what are your plans for the coming 5 years. That's money we will never invest or not invest without capital guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have 5 years to give. Like, it's not smart to take risks with that money, especially if you have concrete plans. Like, I have to buy a car within 3 years. Okay, 3 years, a lot can go good, but a lot can go wrong as well. And
So
investing too little is bad, or is like a missed opportunity. But investing too much is way more dangerous. Then you have to pull out. At times you don't want to pull out. You have to pay Bolero a big fine for for using the overdraft or leverage. I don't know how do you want to call it, but if
sounds
you
like
set up some barriers, it's
sounds
bad.
like a situation that happened to you.
To me, yeah, I one time had to pay Bolero as well. Yes, but everything is settled. I'm no longer a client, so I
Really?
think we're good.
They
Yeah,
kicked they
not in my
kicked you
name.
or what?
No, they don't kick me, but I had to declare my current employer everything. I had a role. I like volmacht or some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I never declared Prometheus because I am just a co-joint rekeninghouder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I thought they will never find that one out. But I had to close all my accounts in yeah, in foreign lands, European or apparently on the Caribbean as well, uh, because
So
it's not
you
allowed.
and you're actually the guy giving information and advice to people about investing, and you got literally like almost banned, if you put it in other words. Um,
No, it was from my employer, and they had to make an
yeah, for you. Okay,
transparency,
okay, yeah.
and I said these are my accounts, and they said, bro, why? And then I just decided to fuck it, it's not worth it, and stuff they don't know, like cryptos or
Mm-hmm.
Prometheus, stuff like that. That doesn't matter. But normally, if apparently, if I get my tax papers, I have to be honest and completely transparent. Otherwise, I don't know what will happen. I don't care actually. It's just
Yeah,
such bullshit. It's if you are evading tax, no, I ain't.
it's just a scare
Gewoon de
tactic, you know.
voorheffing en ja, voilà.
I
It's all bullshit.
I
It's
would
all
do
bullshit.
what you are doing, but to the listeners, don't follow what Jesse is doing because he
Always be
he's a
very open and honest to the taxman, to your bank. Just
not that,
follow all the
but
rules.
you're like the opposite, you know. Yeah, the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Nah,
Just
I
be a
think
normal
I'm
guy.
quite open about it.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay. Interesting to
about
know.
the finance.
Yeah, interesting to know for the future of this podcast, for the proceeding.
Oh boy.
So let's turn back to budgeting and saving. So you said budgeting and saving, maybe try to save as much as possible, but remember that you might have to lock up this money for a longer period of time in order to see
Hmm.
some return on it. So I think that's a big distinguishment, that people, for example, that have to pay off loans or want to get a loan in the near future, are better off storing their money just on their savings account, I assume, instead of
It
investing it.
depends in yeah. If you have to make a decision, like, will I borrow money to buy a car
Mm-hmm.
at 5 or 6%, and I will instead of borrowing of loaning the money, I will invest 6,000 euros. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. At this point, at this interest rates, if it's not for a very long time and at a quite good rate, I don't think it's smart to borrow money. There are three ways to defeat inflation, and it's good debt, real estate, and investing. But good debt will means it's either lower than the current market rate or it's lower than inflation. At this point, the market for the capital markets, like the interest rate is at a 10-year high. Nobody is making good debt at this point.
Yeah.
But if you have like you buy a house, you make a commitment, a fixed commitment for 25 years. If the rent of the interest rates goes up, you're lucky you did it. Like, okay, I got this interest rate. If they go down, you refinance it. It will cost you some money when you do it, but it will save you a lot of fucking money in the long run.
Yeah.
You can get your monthly payments down, and if you have debt that's above, like credit card debt or like personal debt for buying a car, buying a TV, just get rid of that as soon as possible. It's never good that the things you buy with that should be able to appreciate in value. And a car, if you every time you turn on your car engine, it loses you fucking money. It's just it's not a good
I think
commodity to loan for. Yeah.
I think you threw around a lot of important words here, but if that's okay, I will park it for the debt management part, and then we can go a bit more in depth about interest rates and stuff, because I think not much people understand what it does and how loans are calculated using this interest rate.
Okay.
If that's okay. So for the second part, or do you want to add something about budgeting and saving?
Yeah, that when you have plans, even the vaguest plans, just put in your savings account. There's nothing worse than having put for 20 months you invested in the worldwide ETF. I don't care about it, but and 2022 or 2023, you thought, okay, I've put this amount of money in over the last 20 months or 30 months, and now the market crashes. It's very sad that you are not able to fulfill your goal.
Take advantage of that.
Yeah, you have to make sure you have it. If you have concrete plans, like not concrete like the fucking pavement, but hoe zeg je dat, concreet? Is it concrete?
Yeah, I think solid, concrete, good words.
If you have very specific plans, just put it in a savings account, bro. It's not worth the risking the money for your dream or your plan to go to waste to Russia invading Ukraine or rising interest rates to the inflation. It's just sad.
And in what
if
time
you have
periods
money enough,
would you say? Would you say like 3 to 5 years? If you have plans in 3 to 5 years, you might just be better off saving, or how do you see that?
Yeah, I think for big plans like buying a house or stuff like that, you should be realistic and thinking, okay, I need at least X amount of money. It depends where you live. It depends who you are buying the house with, if you're doing it alone. But it always helps if you have a big saving account. Having it in risky investments is rarely a good idea. Because if I look at the market, if I look at my situation, I thought I bought a house in February, and I was not liquid at all. And I was very, very sad because I sold all my stocks.
At a pretty low time, no?
Yeah, back then, yes. But if I look up the prices I got versus the prices today, it saved me like 10 or 12% also. So
okay, that's
yeah,
something good of it.
yeah, it could be way worse,
That's true.
As long as I'm not able to put a decent amount of money away for at least 5-6 years, I will never put it in stocks,
Okay.
But it can be very divided. If you have you save 500 euros each month, you can say, okay, I will put 400 in the savings account and 100 towards buying stocks. It's all okay. Saving is not always only saving account, but having cash is never bad when you have plans.
I think I think you're very right about that. Maybe sometimes you have to prioritize savings, especially in these periods when it's harder to get money for a good price. But we'll get there in point 3 with debt management. Maybe the only question I have left is, what is a good amount to save? I think a lot of people might have some money already on the bank account or savings account. What do you think, for example, to buy a house would be a good amount of money to store away? And I know more is better, but what is like the amount that you're like, now it's maybe more beneficial to actually start investing instead of saving more?
Yeah. Right now, with the interest rates of today, it's way more expensive to take out a loan for 90% of your purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So when interest rates are higher, it's always better to use more of your own money. If you have a lot of money saved today and the interest rates go down, and then you go looking for
For a house? Yeah.
and then you can make a choice: do I put in all my money, or do I just only put like 10% of the money? It's If the interest rates are low, it's better to invest part of the money. But when it's quite high, I
Yeah.
think it's better to use all your money. But at this point, I don't know how it was in the previous years, but you need to have at least 10% of the buying price plus the costs of notaris, weet ik veel is it,
Yeah,
lawyers and shit.
the taxes and transaction fees and stuff.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot of money you need just to be able to get a loan. If you don't have that amount of money, they will say, nah, thank you for coming, and we'll see you next year. It's very brutal.
Yeah, it's very brutal indeed at the moment. I think I read yesterday that the interest rates in America are 10-year high or something. I don't know. It was pretty
Yeah,
exorbitant.
it's pretty fucked. I mean, a lot of people, especially the older people, oh, back in my days, I had to loan out money for 13 or 14%, and okay, grandpa, but my father paid, if he turned it around to euros, I think he paid like 40,000 for his for the land he then built his house on. That land was 25, yeah, not hectare, but acres, I don't know, yeah, are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth today like fucking €500,000 or stuff like that. It's not comparable. It's yeah, it's crazy. They always complain that we complain because 3 or 4% is way too high, but they could buy a house for like yeah, a piece of cake, or like 2 toothpicks and one dryer. I don't know how they paid it.
Yeah, I actually talked indeed with my parents yesterday about this, and they were also like, in our time, they didn't have to like put up front so much money. I think that's something that has changed over the last years, maybe. I know COVID was a special time because interest rates were so low that banks were basically giving away money.
Yeah, there was negative interest on the 2, 3, and 4 year European deposit rates. So if you put money on your savings account, the banks were losing money because they had to pay a fee to get it insured. Plus, they did get negative interest. So they would literally give the money away. Here it is. Just pay me like 0.5% for 25 years. It's fine. Just fucking take it away. And that was nice. It was nice for people back then. Back then, it's only 3 years ago. But that was the main reason the real estate market got very, very tight at this moment. And now with the higher interest rates, it's for people who don't have a partner or doing it alone, it's fucking nearly impossible. But it's still possible, but you have to be
You have to pay up
content.
a lot in front.
Yeah, you have to just empty out your saving account at least, and you will not be able to get the dream house you want. And that's what a lot of people these days don't get. Everybody wants the house with 4 ja, 4 gevels and a nice driveway and 3 bedrooms. Yeah, okay. But that's where the competition comes in. People with the same wants, same needs, with a little bit more money want the same thing. Yeah. It's like having a bigger cock. It's just how it is. The biggest always wins.
Yeah, that's something that surprised me. The interest rates are pretty high, but the housing market is still pretty hot. There's still a lot of high prices out there. Do you have any idea about what's happening there?
Yeah.
Or?
The amount of transactions has slowed down quite a lot. Like in 2020, 21, and 22, all the realtors were just focusing on the sellers. Like, let me sell your house, because they didn't have to put any effort in for every house within X amount of miles from the city center. They put it online. I think 2 days later you have 20 appointments to show the house. You get 5 biddings. It was so fucking easy. Now it is slowed down a little bit, but a lot of people still want to make the change and want to be owner of a house, because yeah, real estate will never lose much value. I bought a house, and if everything goes to shit, I can still live in that house.
Yeah.
I think I paid a high price, but I think it's okay. I believe I did a good deal. So even if they tell me your house is worth 100,000 euro less than you bought it, yeah, I would just say, yeah, fuck you. I will. I live here, so I don't care what the price is now, and that's unique on real estate. You can actually use it. It's kind of investment you can live in. Like, you can have a lot of shares and no house, and when it rains, you're still wet. But if you have a house and no shares, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not that wet.
Do you think people just have to be content with less nowadays then?
Yes,
Or?
yes. I have I don't know if I would say this. I maybe have a sister. I have, yeah, okay. She specifically, her situation is she is single. I don't know how old she is. She's older than me. I think 30. She travels a lot, and then she starts, oh, it's not fair. I have to do it on my own, and then I want this house. And so, yeah, it's like a family house with 3 fucking sleeping rooms. It would not be logical that you alone would be able to purchase this. But yeah, it's always getting heated at that point. But now she bought an older house with a lot of renovations to do, which she can span out over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you have to be content that you are able to buy a house, and that it will be a plan for many years. For a lot of people, you have to be content that you will not get the
perfect
price.
house at the first opportunity.
Yeah. No, of course not. And a lot of times, the houses that are picobello, yeah, well,
They go for
like,
a high price. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And with the regulations now, like, if you buy a house, you have to have an EPC, an energy prestation. Nou, dan moet je het Engels zeggen. Energieprestatiecertificaat.
Certificate. Yeah. Energy.
Yeah. How energy friendly your house is. And if you buy a house which doesn't have a D, so it's worse than a D, you have to make renovations to change your energy consumption.
Yeah, your score.
And it's very bad for the old houses, because a lot of the houses here, for some mysterious reason, were built shortly after 1945. I don't know what happened, but a lot of houses were damaged. But yeah, a lot of old houses do now have to be sold are able to be sold with only a D, because in 5 years it has to be a C. 5 years later on, it will have to be a B. In 15 years' time, you only if you buy a house, you have to make such adjustments. It's nearly energy neutral. It's fucking insane what
Damn.
the government has imposed.
I
And
didn't know that was that time frame already. 15 years and all the houses have to be A.
Nee, B.
B. B is
Yeah,
neutral.
B or better. No, you have minus A, then you have a negative energy consumption. Like you have a warmte pump and solar panels and everything, and you have such isolation that you don't lose any heat, so you only have to turn the heat on once a year and you're good, you know, and you get sheep in your backyard. I don't I don't think it's healthy, because a lot of the houses, I think at least 50% of the houses in Flanders are old and fucked. And the people who have like old parents or like grandparents who are in the nursing homes and who haven't sold their house yet, they will have to make decisions fast, because it will be nearly impossible to catch any money in 5 years' time, because a lot of people will see the house, will see the work that needs to be done through the government, which imposes all these fucked up laws, and people say, yeah, then I will just buy land and build a new one because it's the same price. Get fucked. And that's why nowadays a lot of the houses on the market, a lot of transactions are those old homes at good prices, but you have to have the courage or the balls to start at a project like that. And I was real with myself, and I said to myself, I don't trust myself with electricity or nothing. I just buy a house that's finished, because
I wouldn't trust you, so that's a good decision, I think.
Yeah.
No, but that means that the actually affordable houses will be those with a bad EPC score, I guess.
Yes.
And then there is gonna be a switch towards people having to renovate their own home more often, I guess. Less, because a lot of the houses are still with a bad EPC score, I presume.
Yeah, so the prices will go down from the bad houses, because the people who buy it have to make those adjustments.
Yeah.
The sellers, they can sell their home regardless the certification, but the buyers need to think about the future, like, oh shit, I have to do X and Y, and it's gonna cost me a shitload of money, so you know, I will not pay 300,000 for the shitty house. No, I will pay 250 because I have to put in 50 more. And it's a weird point where we're at, because in total, the decent houses with like built after 1990, those transactions are slowing down a lot, but the total of transactions is only slowed 10%, because a lot of those older houses are being bought up with people with like firms who renovate them and flip them, I don't know, or try to rent them out, stuff like that. Plus, if you buy an old house now, you just buy it for the land, because we have a beton stop and we cannot transform any more land into building grounds, especially in my neighborhoods. We bought the house, and at the other side of the road is protected woods, and we have a little field, and behind us is a little field, and they told us, everything outside of the single, the kleine ring around the city, will be green housing, which means there will never be any new areas, or only very, very planned and with social housing, and I don't, but normally you cannot put an apartment complex in a residential street at this point with us. So that's fucking nice, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I think it gives security to a green environment for you to the future. So that's a big thing. But I guess that's not for all cities, or
No, it's on city level they can make those plans.
Yeah.
and there are cities which are growing, and there are a lot of cities which are decreasing. Lommel is growing, but Bale is decreasing, and you notice it in every way. That's you have to have the opportunities. Yeah, you're from Antwerp, a lot of people, even from Lommel or from fucking Bale, they say, oh, I want to have a nice job and this and that. I go rent in Antwerp. Because that's where the people live, that's where the opportunities are. Yeah, that's how it goes. Everybody wants to go to the same places. The places
to the
where
big
the
city,
opportunity is.
like it's not
Voilà.
it's not unheard of.
But I think you pay like twice the amount of money for the same house. And you have to tolerate
Probably.
all those Antwerpenaren. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard, but then I think about you and I'm like, god damn, I'm lucky that I'm not your neighbor.
Yeah, I'm lucky for that as well. I don't think you would
Whoa,
last
same
day
joke
by.
against me. Damn, you're
Oh,
so
I
you're
have
so
a bow and
genius.
arrow ready for if you enter Limburg once again, bro.
I
You're
know
on the
where you
watch
live,
list.
so you know that, right? You showed me where you live, so I can go up any moment to your house.
I would not do that. Because when it's my turf,
I'm
I
gonna
have a
bow you
sword, I
down.
have a bow and arrow. But yeah, you're from the grenade area. That's right, I forgot.
The grenade area.
Ja, Antwerpen. Ik
That's,
zei van Hoboken.
that's Deurne, jong. That's not even the
Ah,
real
Deurne.
Antwerp.
Oh. Dat is allemaal hetzelfde, jongen. Dat is allemaal van de gespeeld.
No. Okay. But interesting though. Maybe we should get back to our points over here. Have you experienced any, or do you have any practical tips for saving money? Maybe is there something that works for you that you were like, this way it made me a lot easier? I guess the putting away the money is the main tip you can give. Are there any other things you think about, or is that not something?
Control your emotions. Because when you are volatile with your emotions, sometimes you spend money you don't want to spend just to feel something. And for me, it was a big thing stopping smoking weed. I know you're still an advocate from Junko Friday, so it's not valid advice for everybody. But for me, it was important because every time I was high, I would buy other shit. You know, like
you
a
were
lot
like
of
the
more.
order guy, ordering food,
Yeah.
ordering new gadgets online, and then you don't know what you spend your money on, and it
Yeah,
just
and
arrives
I
at
was
your
always
doorstep.
surprised I stayed poor. It was nice though. It was very nice at one point in my life. But now my
we
biggest
grow older.
spendings, yeah. But don't start smoking or smoke like crack or something like that. It's very heavy. You don't have to buy a pack of cigarettes every week.
For those of
Just
you that
smoke
don't
one
know,
time.
this is just kind of humor, so don't take it any serious. But so practical. I did find that that's a very good thing you said there. The emotions must a lot of times do carry responsibility in your expenses. For example,
Bro,
for some
I
people this might be
experienced a
shopping
lot.
or something. Like
Yeah,
they feel bad and they
like
go
a lot of
shopping.
people, they go out and they say, I deserve this Starbucks. I had such a busy day. It's like, bitch, what the fuck? You just woke up. Why would you need a $6 latte macchiato? I get the fuck out. It's not.
No, I follow you in that. I think even for myself, I think nowadays people are like very easy on themselves. Like, this was such a hard working day, and for me, example, it was a home working day or something. And then you're like, I really deserve this joint, or I really deserve this or that. And it's like, I can't even imagine what the real war of or no money feels like. Like I'm just I can spend it because I have it. And I think that's a mindset that a lot of people have that I'm trying to change for myself, and I think is also important for other people to take notice. Like, we don't have to give ourselves so much. You can be... Okay, I give an extreme example here because I said it today to Zoe, but I was actually eating moldy bread today, and I'm not proud of it, but I was like... I was like, whatever, it's not that much mold, and I made the sandwiches anyway, so I'm gonna eat them. And that was it. I was not overthinking like, oh no, I cannot eat mold because this is so bad. Like, it's just food at the end of the day, and we don't have to eat the most fancy food or the most.
Okay, but you know, that's like an extreme example.
I say it.
But
It's not relevant for everybody, but it's a way of thinking. Like, you don't need to have the most fresh things or the most
no, of course not, bro.
a sandwich every day that's perfectly made for you, and you go to the store to buy it each day. Like, these things don't have to happen each day.
No, and a lot of things just stack up. You know, every once in a while you get a sandwich or like a nice meal from I don't know, from the fucking place next to your work. That's okay, but a lot of people just do it every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
That's my point.
the comfort, they pay so much money, or they lose so much money because it doesn't matter where you eat it, you just eat it the same way. But yeah, a lot of people are, it seems to me, allergic to having a good balance. If they have something, they have to spend it. They're allergic to having money.
Yeah, exactly. I think people want to spend money.
Oh, bro, the amount of people I see who are fucking poor dress so rich. Like, they come in with sneakers from like 150 euros, they have a t-shirt from 80 euros, they have a watch on from 400 euros, and then they cannot pull out like 20 euros out of the machine because, oh shit. Oh, ja. Mijn zakgeld is nog niet gestort. I don't know, bro. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And I've met millionaires who just came in like a blue pants with a lot of mud on it because he came from the working side. He doesn't give a fuck what people think about him. He thinks, okay, I'm floated, you know. That's it. They don't want to impress in that way.
Yeah, I think this is a rare occasion of me actually fully agreeing with you. You know, it doesn't happen that often.
And I will change my statement. I think having Gucci belts are very important, you know. The more belts you have, the more important you are. So hit me up for a second-hand Gucci belt.
So I think my practical tip I want to add to this one for people that feel a bit that can relate themselves to what we just said. Start tracking your expenses. Actually, look each month where money is going. Like, I have months, for example, on the screen that I pay 900 euros for enjoyment in a month. 900 euros, bro.
It's like prostitutes or what?
I hope that was a vacation month, because otherwise I'll be very sad. But these things do happen, and people have to take notice of your own spending. So start tracking your own expenses, and that's where everything starts, with budgeting, with saving, knowing how much money you get in and knowing how much money you get out is the main thing I want to say here.
Yeah, and especially try to be able to be hard on yourself. Don't think, oh, I don't look at it. No, just confront yourself how fucking stupid you can be. It's really, really, really desillusional to see how stupid you can be. You know.
And this is coming from two persons that have lost a lot of money on stupid things, and we are calling these shit stupid. So
focus stars and shit, you know.
Yeah, this says a lot. But yeah, we also have our stupid things, so we're not generalizing to anybody or something, but we're just saying these are common pitfalls that people can fall into. But
I want to add a lot of vices are very underestimated for people who don't have those clear vices. People with drinking problems and like gambling problems, they cannot find a way out without their fix, you know. And I don't know if somebody who's listening is probably are. Paul, is this
I'm
for
listening.
you? Just stop smoking. But sometimes if you make an inventory of everything you do, try to be as hard as possible on yourself and try to find a way out. And I mean,
or minimize, I guess, is maybe a more realistic approach.
Gewoon stoppen. Just quit.
But it's like
And you
if
can
your
always
vice
check
is
again, but
is
you know,
going on a shopping spree, then you cannot stop shopping. Like you have to buy clothes at some point. So
yeah, but you know, that's
or gaming, for
to
example,
you.
if you game for like every day 24 hours and then you want to minimize that, it's still okay to game 1 hour in a week or something, you know?
Yeah, okay,
Or
but that's rewarding yourself because of your abstinence or stuff like that. That's different.
yeah, I think
But
there are indeed some nuance differences between our strategies.
yeah, you have things that cost money every time, and we're talking about money, so just try to quit. You can always start again with smoking crack or
Yeah, okay, but
gambling or
have you quitted
just
cigarettes yet?
next question.
Okay, let's go next question.
Fucking
Investing.
digit.
So we heard before that investing is only interesting if you have money to spare that you don't want to use in the next 5 years. I think is something a rule of thumb you just said.
Yeah. It's it should be money where you don't get a tummy ache if you lose it.
So
Um,
in this, for example, if you are now looking to buy a house, would it be interesting to actually use that money to invest for a few years because the housing market,
no.
like you said, is not
Yeah,
that great right now?
no. If you want to buy a house, if you're serious about buying a house, it's the best to have it cash or in products with capital guarantee. That's you know everything you've saved up,
What do you
you
mean with
won't lose on it.
products with capital guarantee?
Ja, termijnrekeningske, bonds with a short duration, stuff
So
like
high
that. Just
savings accounts and bonds, but bonds are also with you can sell them, but it's also pretty illiquid, right? Or am I saying that wrong?
no, yeah. It depends. If you have bonds, they always have a maturity date. You can buy and sell bonds on the secondary market. And if you say, okay, I have to have the money within 2 years, you don't buy bonds with 5 years till
Yeah.
they pay out
So
your capital. Just short term.
yeah,
It will not
there
be
are
much, but
also there are also bonds that expire in 1 or 2 years, I think. Yeah, the short term.
yeah, you can buy bonds who expire at the end of
So
March. It's a
for
lot of
people that don't know
options.
what bonds are, it's basically an
A loan.
IOU kind of paper. So you give money to the government, they give you a bond, and the bond says that you are getting this money back in X amount of time, and you get a
Yeah.
little premium for it. And that's basically what it is.
Mm,
No?
yeah, it's the premium you pay if it's a primary uitgifte. Sometimes you pay to buy it. Like now we sell a bond of UCB. If you put in 10,000 euros, you pay 178 euros extra, but you get each year 4.2% interest, and within 6 years they pay your original capital back.
So
It's
basically, you have to pay a little fee to get started, and then each year you get 4% back from your invested money, and at the end of
mhm.
expiration, you get all the money back, like the full
Yeah,
10,000.
yeah.
Okay, so that
That's
are
how it
options
works.
that you can use to invest in relatively safe and liquid things in the short term. I
It's
think you
it's
can
it's
also sell
100%
the
sure.
bonds, right?
Yeah, and that's very interesting because if the interest rates drop, and now you have this bond of UCB with a very high uh, interest rate, and the market interest rate drops, people want to pay more than 100% for your bond. They
Yeah.
will say, I will give you 11,000 euros because if I buy it from you, I have 5 more years left of this 4%
So
coupon. You can make a big amount of money.
I think for some people this might be a little Chinese, so I'm gonna try to dumb it down a bit. So basically, just like a loan you get for your house by the at the bank, you can be the bank for certain companies or for the government, for example, and they say, okay, we want to lend money from you, from me, for example, for 4%. But sometimes when interest rates go up, so money becomes more expensive, interest rate is literally in correlation with how expensive it is to get money. So if there are high interest rates, it's very expensive for companies, for governments, for people to get money. So they go looking around at other persons or other companies that have money, and they will be like, hey, can I lend some money from you? I'll give you this bond. And then money becomes even more expensive. Then people that get those bonds at a higher interest rate will get more money back because the money is even more expensive. And then money gets cheaper again. For example, during COVID, money became very cheap. Then people don't want to lend money to each other because you're not getting any percentage for it because there is just money everywhere. So in that case, it's better to buy bonds from somebody else than actually make new bonds, because the new bonds that are being made will not give you any premium, any money for lending you the money. Damn, when I was explaining this, it kind of got very hard in all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's
was,
just
right for about 40%, so it's okay.
That's not true. It was more than that, but I guess I left some important.
43 at the most.
So important to note is just how money is being given out. If interest rates are high, people don't want to give money out because money is scarce, and they will ask a lot of money in return, or like a yearly fee or something, to lend you the money. Just like banks have interest rates, people can have interest rates to other people for lending money. Companies can have interest rates, or you can.
I think you should nuance it a bit, because when the central banks, they can only control the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 year interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
The longer interest rates are controlled by the market, and only the market, like the need for capital to finance a 25-year project, will always be there. So I mean, the amount of money is going around doesn't impact that much the longer term interest rates. And the banks, the central banks control or raise. They put the interest higher because they want less spending from people. They want to slow down the economy because it was going way too fast. And like in 2020-21, you buy a new BMW XAZ, I don't know what the fuck it is, and they say thank you for your money, you will have it within 11 months. It was so fucked. A lot of precious goods like cars and electronics, you had to wait a long time because too much people got their hands on basically free money, and that's why they say no more free money for you. They put on the interest rate higher, the economy slows, the need for capital on longer term drops, so they have to pay higher dividends or interest rates to convince people to lend them the money. But if you want to get back to the question, if you have plans to buy a house, just buy something on a short term with capital guarantee, so you don't lose any fucking money. And it will not be spectacular. At this point, you can put money away for 1 year, you get like 3% or stuff like that. That's it. Don't expect to be rich. If you have money besides that, there's never a better time than with high interest rates to buy real estate of REITs on the stock exchange and buy technology and small and mid caps. They get fucked when the interest rates rise, and they profit when it goes down because they have to finance growth. So on the short term, play it safe. Don't lose money. You have plans with, if you have money besides that, look at the interest and the inflation cycle and play along. Technology will grow and maar goed.
I think a lot of people don't know the relation between inflation, interest rate, mid cap. People don't know that, I think. But that's okay. I think indeed you underlined the important part is, if you need money in the short term, don't think about investing. If you want to keep money for the long term, then you have to look at things that need a lot of money at this point, because those are the ones that are very cheaply priced at this moment, because there is not a lot of money to be handed out, and there you can potentially get a good buy-in moment at this moment. Is that fair to say, or is that
yeah, it's you have to, if you want to invest for a longer period of time, or you tell yourself that, just zoom out. Like, there is never a situation that has not yet been had. So how do you say it? Nothing is very special. There are times that the interest rate was at this level. You look at the job reports, stuff like that. Just zoom out a little bit. Like, oh, I like this stock. Oh, it's going up. I have to buy it, and I will take it for 10 years. No, no. Sometimes it's very nice to just take a step back, look at the economy, not at the company, what influences what, and find the correlation, and just go with it.
Yeah, I think maybe
it doesn't matter.
Maybe to get started in investing is not individual stocks. I would suggest. What do you think?
What I would suggest, or what you advise? What I suggest, just YOLO it on some crazy ass.
What would your professional advice be?
Bro, my professional advice would be a very modest approach, like as well as stocks, as well as bonds at this point.
So basically a fund.
Yeah, a fund or ETF, it doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Because a fund is just an ETF without public quotation on a stock market. An ETF is a fund with a stock market quotation, so it doesn't matter. It's just basically the same thing, but you know, with the ETF, a lot of more people get scammed a little bit, and with the funds, a lot less people get scammed a little bit harder. You know, everybody gets scammed.
Remember, he's a banker, so he cannot really say anything bad about funds.
Now it's feasible. Yeah, I sell also ETFs, I sell bonds, I sell everything, bro.
I've never heard you talk about ETFs in a good light, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, because I don't believe in it. Yeah.
All right, so
fun out of everything.
We'll get back to the ETFs and the funds. I think important to notice is, what time frame do you need money? If there is money that you don't need in the next 5 years, you can put it aside and then start thinking about either a fund with your bank, pension savings, long-term savings, or
that should be first,
ETF.
Bro. In my opinion, that should be first. If you have a way for investing for the future, the long term, do it with a fiscal advantage, bro. Just take the 30%. Like our
but that's
funds,
if you have money to spare, right? Like if you need your money in the next 5 years, you don't put it into the pension fund.
Let's say yes. I think it's such a small amount that it would not make a difference if you you want to buy a house in 3 years and you have a little bit of saved up. You have your income. I think it doesn't make a difference if you put away €82.50 each month towards your pension saving, or on your savings account.
Yeah.
No, that's not the big difference, but you can, if you
depends. I guess on how much money you're earning, right? Like for some people, this might be a bit more than for others.
Yeah, sure, but you know, you should always have a few months of worth of
Yeah, we'll get
salary
to that
on the side.
in a bit, because
Yeah,
I
well,
believe these
why would you
questions.
invest if you're not sure if you're gonna if your boss says get the fuck out, and you're not sure you're gonna live for 6 months? How the fuck? Why would you invest? Just make sure you can
Yeah,
live through the
we'll
next
get through
6 months.
the flow chart in a second, and there it says which things you should in what order. But I'm trying to get through this list, but maybe it's not the best way to handle this. What do you think? Do you think the flow chart would be better, that we can focus on each thing in the right order?
Are you asking me or we or
Are
who?
you? Yeah,
I
you're the
don't see
one
the
I'm
flow
talking
chart.
to. This is a
Okay,
flow
but I don't see the
chart.
flow chart, and I don't see the
This
point.
is a
So you
flow
know,
chart. So the flow chart dictates a few phases that we are going through.
I'm looking at Eminem versus Ja Rule. That's not right, I think.
Eminem versus Ja Rule.
Yeah, it's a beef from 1998, I think. But yeah, never mind.
Ah, it was a joke. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, not really, but you know, it's okay. Oh, I have to look at of the YouTube to see.
No, you can look in the Discord. It's just there. I'm sharing it with you and with everybody. But you can also look on YouTube. I have an extra viewer then. No, I'm just kidding. You can
Okay.
because YouTube has the lag, so I rather have you watch here. So step
will,
0.
I'll look at.
No, I can explain it. So we have few phases, and this, keep in mind, this is posted on Reddit, so it's not the most literate fora out there, but I think it's a pretty good one. So we have a few different phases. Phase 0 would be budget and reduce expenses. I think we already talked about that in quite extent. And also adding to that one is to set realistic goals. I think we already explained a lot about that phase. The next phase would be build an emergency fund. So this is what Jesse was gonna get to. It actually means keeping money aside for if you lose your job or if something bad happens, like your car breaks down and you need to buy a heavy amount of parts or expensive amount of parts. So you have a sort of fund for yourself that you're like, okay, if shit hits the wall, I can still get my macchiato latte once in a week or something, whatever. The things you really need in the week, you can still get them by. I know you're different about that, but for some normal people, I guess being able to buy these things that they really need and want is an essential for them. So emergency fund should be essentials for yourself that you are able to live comfortably. The next phase would be employer sponsored matching funds. We don't really have that in Europe, unfortunately. We do indeed have in a smaller amount that, which is called groepsverzekering indeed. And it basically means that a portion of your salary is being invested in a fund by your employer. So you don't have to do anything about it. If you work for 20 years at the same company, usually you'll have a pretty big amount of money stacked up waiting for you.
Yeah, and a groepsverzekering, it's the only kind of pension saving formula which you can use to buy a house. You can
really?
withdraw money. Oh yeah, it's the only way. It's within the second pensioenpijler or the third, I don't know. You have IPT, VPZ, groepsverzekeringen, zo van die dingen. And you can withdraw from those. And you can use it to buy a house, the second house, I don't give a fuck, within the whole of the European Union. It's still...
okay, that I didn't know. That's pretty interesting.
I have a colleague, he has only 2 years left. It's way more expensive to let him go than just... if you fire him, it would cost the company more than pay him for 5 years or stuff like that. but he took a big chunk of his groepsverzekering and bought a fucking apartment in northern of Spain, the north of Spain.
It sounds like a louche kind of thing, but okay.
Buying a house in Spain is louche? Nah.
No, instead of being paid out what you are owed, you...
No, he works like 38, 36 years for the company, and if they would fire him now, he has only 2 years left. If they fire him now, it would cost the equivalent of 5 years working. So it is way more cheaper, just even if he doesn't check in or anything, to come into work and just pay him for not doing anything than to fire him. But he is a hard worker nonetheless. But the social laws in Belgium are really, really fucked.
I should write this down
like
when I'm
60,
like 30 years into my job.
No. If you're 60 and above, it's so expensive to fire people. It's so fucked, you know. But those people have to be protected. Okay. But yeah.
All right. So
step 2 is very important because it will make a big difference if you're living in Belgium. Your last wage and your first pension, that's a fucking nightmare. Some people lose up more than 50%. So you have to take into account that you will do the same things. You will have to do the same things with a lot less. And if there is negotiability with your employer, just say, bro, I want some money, put it in a retirement fund, and it's cheaper for you than paying me that amount. So it can be a nice sum.
Yeah, I think I have something like that, but we'll get to that when we are actually going into the detail flowchart. Okay. Step 3 will pay down high and moderate interest debt. So I assume what would you classify as moderate or high debt? Is that above 3%?
Yeah, it not necessarily, you know. If the current market interest is like 4.1, then 3.1 is not a bad debt.
Okay.
Because if you put in your money in termijnrekening for 1 year and you get 3.1 and you have to pay 3% on your loan, then you would be able to get more interest with safely investing your money and paying the interest, and you still have something extra instead of removing the debt. Everything that's above your interest what you get, it's bad.
So basically, if the percentage of interest rate that you will get on a new loan is higher than the one you have right now, then
not per se on the loan, more like what do you get on a Fidelity savings account, or what do you get on a fixed account?
Yeah, high savings accounts.
Yeah, stuff like that. A way to let your money, instead of paying back your loan, if you could put it to work safely so you don't lose money, and it is higher, you get more than your interest. It's good interest. So it would be beneficial if you take out a loan and just put it in that kind of account, so you would win money. But that's never the case. It's always more expensive to loan money, but a lot of people have like mortgages from 1.02 or stuff like that, and now they get 2% on their saving account. It's really ridiculous.
So in that case, if you have like a low interest debt, it would be more beneficial to pay the lowest amount possible and use all the money that you would otherwise give to this loan to a high savings account or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you are really confident in yourself and you invested in more risky, it's always possible.
But we are not recommending that right now.
No.
Because we are the worst at this.
At this point, with these high interest rates, there are a lot of alternatives for your worldwide fire ETF. Just put it in a fucking savings account, and you don't have to be smart. You just have to lose your PIN code, and 1 year later there will be more money on your account. You don't have to do anything. Just forget about it, and that's the best way.
Okay. So the next step would be savings for retirement in an IRA. I'm not fully convinced that this is the best order to do it, but I think if you have high or moderate interest rate debts, then you definitely want to pay that off as much as possible. You don't want to get stuck with that debt too long because it just accumulates over time, and if you pay minimal amount to those debts, you're just gonna be paying for such a long time, and most of your money is not even going towards the thing you're paying for. It's going towards the bank. So having the ability to pay off your high and moderate interest rate debts are really the most important part, I think, in this.
Yeah, but it is step 1 is more important than step 4, of course. Huh?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
so it's right.
Yeah, I think it's right, but there is also, like you were saying, like you can sometimes you can always miss that 82 euros to put in your retirement account, but there are some cases that you
debts,
rather.
you don't, huh?
Yeah.
So if you have debts, not for like an asset, but like for a TV or a credit card, just pay it. Don't think about saving if somebody else if you have to pay interest. You know.
Yeah, true. So an IRA is something from America, but basically it's a certain pension fund. We're not going into details what the differences are. So basically pension funds and expenses for higher education, which means like saving up for your children or something, I think. That would be step 4, saving up for the future and for the long term, actually.
I think it's right in that order if I see the next steps. Because unfortunately, if you go on, if you retire, you still have a lot of years to learn. I mean, a lot of people get like to 80, 85, 89, 90, and those are expensive years, bro. And from 65 and on, you will get way less money than when you were 50. So it's very important to make those provisions very early. If you have all the pension funds and pension formulas are always capitalizing, so every fucking donation you can do before your 35th birthday, your future self will thank you very, very much. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Retirement homes, I have no experience with them, but I have talked with a lot of elderly people lately, and they're fucking expensive. So you really want to have saved up a large amount of money when you get old, that you're able to just live comfortably, you know? Like, those are the years that you're like, oh, okay, I should get the latte macchiato, you know? Those are the years that you are
You
like...
don't have to put it off anymore. No?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, but that's actually, like, at that age, you're not able to produce any value to society anymore, to be blunt. And that's when you want to have a nice stack of money so you can just provide for yourself, you know?
Oh, eerste dislike op YouTube. Ideal.
What?
Elderly people, yeah, you know.
Okay, they don't even know what YouTube is, so I'm fine. Okay. I'm sorry if anybody. That's okay. Step 5 will be save more for retirement. I don't really know what's the difference gonna be, but we'll find out if we go more in depth. And step 6 will be then actually the things you want maybe in the mid or in the short term. That would be the final step that you can think about. Okay, I have saved up everything I can for the long term. Now I can start thinking about what do I want to do in the mid to short term. And I think these are very important that you do it in this order. And actually the fact that Jesse agrees with it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, but I'm already missing. I was hoping there was like 7, 8, 9, 10. I never see insurance in this. And that's quite how do you say it? It's a requirement to live good, you know. If you're not well insured, a very unlucky event will set you back for fucking decades, bro.
So where would you put insurance then in this?
I think between 3 and 4.
So insuring means like getting a house insurance, person
House insurance, health
insurance.
insurance, income insurance, life insurance, fucking insure everything, bro.
Because I could.
How tilt will you be if you just walk outside, somebody runs you over, runs away, and that's it, bro? You don't have any insurances, no guaranteed income, no provided healthcare, stuff like that. It will set you back hundreds of thousands of euros if you're not well insured. Like in our world, like Europe, and you have a decent job, you will have an hospitalisatieverzekering. That's step one. But that only pays your medical costs, and then you have to go, okay, I mean, if you lose your job because you can't work the same way that you used to do, with an insured income, you get 24 months of good pay like you used to. If you have physical integrity insurance, you can always recoup the cost to make the modifications on your home and stuff like that. It's always, you hope you never need insurance, but I see a lot of people who are on the right track doing everything right, and then a very unlucky moment, not only not their fault, but just that you think, well, what the fuck, what are the chances? It ruins for life, bro.
Do you have a
And
work
I think,
insurance?
yeah. Gewaarborgdinkomen. Oh.
Yeah, you have that? Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's like I pay 59.99 each year, and if
59,
I would
99, 60 euros. So.
not even 60 euros, but yeah,
Okay,
basically 60 euros. Yeah, but it's cheaper when you're younger. But imagine
Yeah,
I
I had also the
make
opportunity, but I like for me it was or you do like half insurance, half investing, like
and
retirement, or you do full retirement. And I said, okay, just send it, do full retirement. But at some if something major happens, like they told me, if you're getting you're getting married, or you buy a house or something, then you can revisit that clause. So I'm not stuck with that forever, but for now I'm just trying to save as much money as possible.
in een groepsverzekering.
Yeah, we have like special
Yeah,
one.
it's yeah. I also have a groepsverzekering, but that's only it builds up every
only
year
savement.
when you work there, and when you leave the company or you retire, you get it with you, or you get the chance to make sure it will stay put. Like, I don't need it till I'm 65, that's okay. But like the insurance, I don't think it's ever through your employer, because
Yeah,
it's
it was through my employer, the work insurance.
okay.
We
Okay.
we had a specific two options, or you do full savings or you do half. And they said, like, if you get injured or something, then you still get your full amount of pay if you do the half.
Right, nice.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that right now.
And if they fire you, if you get an accident and you're like, "Brr," and they fire you, do you still get full pay?
I don't think so, probably.
Always insure yourself better when possible, and never take everything from your employer. Ja. Bro, ik ben ook insured bij een DKV.
Yeah, for us it's NN Group, I think.
Oef, Nationaal Nederlanden. Die zijn wel cheap at the moment, moet dus kijken voor dividend. Ja.
That's another subject.
Nee.
All right, so you want to go through the flow chart? Let's see what you think is right, and where we think we can add some things maybe. So I think obviously everything starts with budgeting and saving, knowing how much you spend, how much what your expenses are. So having a fundamental understanding of what money flows in and flows out of you. I think that's logical to start with, or you don't think?
I think you always have to have a picture of what the fuck you're doing, and the only way to get that picture very accurately or very right is to monitor everything you do. If you do it, you get a result. You will not like the results, but that's step one to make progress. Know what the fuck you have to do. Know where you can save money. Know who you pay. If you don't have a clue and you realize that you pay 230 euros each month to fucking Starbucks, then it's time you buy a thermoscan, you know? But you
Yeah.
have to realize it first.
Yeah, I think this quote that I've been living by the last weeks, or living by, it's just something that stuck with me, is awareness precedes control. It's a very easy quote to remember, but I find it everywhere, you know? If you're not aware of something, you cannot control it. And that's the first step to everything, you know? Being aware of what is happening.
True.
Alright, so then we get to the second step. Pay rent and mortgage. I think nobody can get out of that one. We all have to sleep and live somewhere, so obviously...
Except
yeah, he lives rent-free in his head, but otherwise he's still paying money here, you know? Even though he's jobless.
Zit hij nog altijd in België dat hij al lang is wat afgekregen?
That's a different story.
Okay.
So pay rent, mortgage, obviously. I don't think these first steps are that amazing or that insightful. It's just basically buy the essentials. That's really what is the first three steps, or the first 3 steps after the budget is here. So it's not the Starbucks, it's not the shopping spree, it's not the things. It's actually, what do you need to survive another day? That's basically what you need to find out.
And don't be too soft on yourself.
Be a little harder on yourself, indeed.
Yeah, because like you have shopping spree, but next time you're gonna buy shoes, you can go to the Brantano and pay 40 bucks, or you go to the Nike and you pay 150. It's a fucking big difference, and let's be real, everybody with half a brain doesn't care about their shoes. If money is tight, if you have the money to spend, or you like sneakers and it fits within your vision, just go ahead, just do it. I don't care, but
indeed, good.
If it's tight,
good to say. We're talking about people that don't have a lot of money, like us, so, or like me.
No, voilà.
I know.
I'm a homeowner, bitch.
You're not. You're a homelander. You don't own anything about the home.
I own like.
You don't even own 1%. I think you're still paying the principal, no?
What's the principal then?
The principal is the first, like 10% of your payments just go directly to the bank, and not towards the actually paying off of your house, right?
I think you were dropped on your head as a baby or something like that. That's not how a fucking loan works, you know? You always pay capital and interest.
I'm actually sure that the first, like, few payments that you make are not going towards fully. Maybe like 5% is going towards that house that you rented, but 95% will go towards the loan the interest rate that you have.
That's how you structure it, huh? If you say I pay a fixed amount of capital, then your first payments will be very high, and it will get lower and lower and lower. But if you say I want to pay every month for 25 years the same amount, then it's logical that your first payments will be way more interest than your last payments. But you always pay down your capital, otherwise you will be stuck paying forever. Because it's just a linear function. You always pay a certain amount of capital and a certain amount of
but
interest.
The ratio varies, right? For some.
It's quite a lot, because I think in my first month I pay I think 855 euros interest, and in my last month it's like 4 euros.
Yeah, So 855 of the 900, or how much you paying monthly?
1350.
1350. Okay, so it's still quite a bit
With
goes
two,
towards the
but
loan.
that 900, what I said in other conversations, that's what my contribution will be, just paying off the home, because I also lend rent-free with my parents, and I have to pay them back, and I have to pay insurance on the fucking house, and stuff like that.
Seems like you got a sweet deal.
Yeah, it saves a lot of fucking money if you can take a loan rent-free.
No,
But boy,
kidding.
I have a motive to kill my girlfriend now with the schuldsaldo free house.
Killer in
Jack
game,
Maka,
of
bro.
course. Don't worry.
What
All
are
right.
you always saying in game? Just kill it
So
in real life when you get the free house.
so we're going towards the next step, and that's pay income earning expenses. So whatever you need to do to get to your job, to get actually revenue, if that means starting a new business, paying off certain elements that provides or supports your business, anything actually that is necessary for you to be able to earn money. That's the order of what your money should be spent on in this last row. Obviously, yourself goes first, then getting money in so that you can provide for yourself in the future. And then, as Jesse said, it's actually pretty early on here. I did not expect that. Pay healthcare, health insurance, and healthcare expenses. So, just like he said, if you fall ill or you get hit by a truck in the middle of the street, not a single soul in the world is gonna be like, "Oh, you deserve $1 million." No, you'll still have to pay
Not
all
in
your
Europe.
own bills. So
Oh yeah. And you will be most likely be handicapped. So life sucks anyway.
might as well
On that
kill
note,
yourself in game then. No, I'm just kidding.
no, definitely not. No, you cannot say that.
Dat was weer erover.
But I want to make a point. Yesterday was a very big day for me. I went to the CM because I've not been paying them since 2019.
Nice.
It was a little dispute. Yeah, but now everything is squared. I was kicked off. Now I am rejoined, and I only have to pay 2 years. So
nice. You made profit of 1 year.
no, actually, I was not insured in any form of way for the best of 3 years. So yeah,
Yeah, but you
But
only have
now
to pay
everything is
2
good.
years, so you got 1 year free, and it's like 90 euros that you saved. That's pretty amazing.
No, it is 103 euros each year.
Oof, I was 13 euros off. My bad.
Yeah, bro. If you count those up, bro.
Yeah, and what if
Those
you
are 2 packs of cigarettes.
were hit by a truck in the meanwhile?
Yeah, that was my question. They say, they would not. You would not get anything from us. I say, oh, why do I have to pay for last year? She just left. And I said, okay. I will think about it. I took the bill with me. I paid it already because we have very good.
What happened to the real Jesse?
Bro, I have people depending on me, young, and if I die, I don't care. I will be dead.
Damn.
So it would not be my problem, but a lot of people get a lot of money.
I hope Boris hears this. Our boy has grown up, I'm so proud.
Bro, die van die fucking CM, jongen. Ik maak een afspraak. Ik zit daar in die wachtkamer en dan komt iemand met een pakketje, die gaat vol met binnen. Iedereen gaat vol met binnen. Je moet een nummerke pakken. Niemand werkt daar. Ik heb daar toen nog 20 minuten te wachten.
20 minutes, damn. Okay.
Yeah, what's the point of making an appointment?
Yeah, it's true. I would also hate that if you make an appointment and nobody's like busy with appointments. You're like the only one that has an appointment.
Yeah, nobody had an appointment, and nobody asked, "Do you have an appointment?" Just take a number. So I could be like a fucking hobo wandering in to get the free coffee, take the number, and he was before me. Get the fuck out. But okay.
Alright, let's continue. So we had healthcare, insurance on your health. For example, I think a lot of us have insurance through our employer, and Also to plug Jesse here, Belfius and other banks have certain, how do you say it, pension funds or just funds in general, like lange termijn sparen, that have actually life insurance clauses in them. So if you
Yeah, but
ever
it's
get
not
to
like a cost. If you ever want to build up for your pension, and you want to make sure if you die, it gets to the right person, you can do lange termijn sparen, and it's the same way as a pension fund. You invest it in funds, and if you die, at least if you, yeah, how do you say, if you appointed somebody before you died, otherwise it would be pretty impossible. But you can appoint somebody. That person gets all my money. When I die, I have the money
I have
that's
not
in the
appointed
contract.
anyone.
No, I know.
You put
Yeah,
yourself there or what?
I'm not denying anything. No.
Okay,
The
so
standard way it's
it's to your
handled is
parents,
like,
right?
yeah, your partner. If not there, your children. If no children, they go to your parents. They follow the straightest line from two lines, like second degree. But you know,
Yeah. Okay.
if otherwise it will be together with everything else.
So
But if you
basically,
put some name in,
yeah. Can you put anybody in? Actually, I was just wondering.
you can put anybody in, but you can only put somebody to the second degree in the fiscal form of the life
Yeah.
insurance. So
Okay.
you get 30% tax reduction for every euro you put in to the life insurance, on condition that if you die, the money goes to somebody with a second
Close to you.
degree
Yeah.
of relativeness. I don't give a fuck.
No,
Because they
yeah.
agree that is taking care of the next generation of taxpayers.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough, I think. If you get a benefit of tax reduction, then you should be able to keep the money in the family, you know? That's that's how the government thinks. Anyways, let's proceed. So after that, after you got your life insurances, your hospitalization insurance, your medical insurance, whatever, anything you need for you to not get out of money if something happens to you, then you start paying off minimum payments on all debts and loans. So this includes high interest rates, low interest rates. We're saying minimum payments here because you still have to pay what you're owed. You still have to pay what you owe to, how do you say it? What you loaned. So this is the first step of paying back your payments, because we're not talking about paying the high interest rate debts fully yet here, because there is one more important thing, or a few more important things before, and that's actually building the small emergency fund. So here it says either $1,000 or 1 month's worth of expenses, whichever is greater. But I think, as we all know, this should be more than 1 month's worth. What do you think, Jesse? How much would you say is a good emergency fund?
At least 5,000 euros. Yeah. What the fuck can you do with 1,000 euros?
Yeah, that's for some people, I guess, a month's expenses. I think that's the idea behind
Yeah,
it.
but yeah, okay, but I think that it should be at least 5,000 euros, because what's 1 month? Sometimes you have to take some time, and I think it's way more comfortable if you know you have a few months. It's so arbitrary for everybody. It's different, but I think
Yeah,
$1,000 is way too less. Way
I
too
think
few.
the reasoning behind it is because, for example, if you get fired or something, you still get some income for at least a certain period, you know? So
Hmm.
I think that's the reasoning behind it. I don't say I fully agree with it, but because I also think it should at least be 3 months, maybe 5 months is maybe pushing it, but
But this is the first step, which focuses on putting money aside,
yeah,
and that will
indeed.
go further even when it's only 1,000. You know, if something happens to your car or I don't know, you get je eindafrekening van uw gas, bro. Ik kon er niet veel ver mee.
Yeah,
I think
I think
€1,000 in these days.
there is also the other part here, increase emergency fund. So I think the 1,000 is the actually bare minimum before you should even pay your non-essential bills, you know, like cable, internet, phone.
Whoa. No, that's
that changes it. I also forgot about that, so I was looking down like, there's still that other part. So this is actually €1,000. That's actually the bare minimum, I would say, for if something really bad happens and you don't have a lot of money, that you at least have that 1,000 saved up.
Yeah, for a surprise bill or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or if something happens to you. Anyways, next step, pay any non-essential bills. I think this day and age, cable and internet and phone are maybe a bit more essential, but what it's referring to is that you have your expenses that really makes you able to live, and then you have expenses that enables you to live better. And I think that are the important differences here. It's not talking about Starbucks drinks still, not yet. But it's actually about
phone. You know, those things.
they
if
are
you don't
pretty
pay
essential,
them,
yeah.
they're pretty essential. If you don't pay them, it only will go up in price. And yeah, if you ignore some bills, it's never worked out very well for me personally. Shout out naar incassobureau bij Zalando. Komt er. Ja,
shout out incassobureau Bolero.
Ja, well, bro, die fucking legal fees van €130 per lijn, iemand laat zijn. Nee, daar heb ik al veel geld op kwijtgespeeld.
So I think we personally both don't fully agree that this maybe should be more early on, because it also enables you to do your job, you know, like pay income earning expenses. I think it's more in that sense.
Yeah, I think so, but yeah, it's maybe a more European vision that we have, like pay the bills on time. I think
more relaxed.
There's no way you can have credit card debts, you know. The bank will take it from your other account, and if they don't get anything there, you get foreclosed on like that. You can get a payment plan, but if you're not able to pay your payment plan 1 or 2 times, they get everything. Your house, so they can get everything through the deurwaarder. In America, it's a little bit different.
That's when you switched sides and went to the banks themselves.
I have a credit card, but I don't have credit cards. I don't see.
Alright, so after that, so the non-essential bills, we would, as Europeans, pay it a bit earlier, but I guess this is indeed focused more for American people. Then we'll get to the part of retirement accounts. Does your employer offer a retirement account with an employer match? This is something not apparent in... Oh yes, it is apparent in Europe, but it's not only for the high-paying jobs, I think. Not really for the common people like us. So basically that means that your employer might set aside 5% of your yearly income, and that he asks you, if you want, you can add another 5% of your income you pay yourself to match to get a 10% pension fund retirement account. So if that's a yes, if you're in a high paying job, if you have that ability, I would always suggest doing that, because you will always be more benefits. You will get more benefits out of it if you can put that money away, because I think it's untaxed money, right? If you can put it away, or your employer put it away for you.
I think the big advantage is that you can spend your money before income tax.
Yeah, indeed.
If you put it aside and the employer puts it aside, it's from your bruto salary.
Indeed.
And and it's a big difference. When you have in Belgium, you earn a decent wage, you pay like fucking 50% income tax or stuff like that. So it's I have kind of the same thing. I can use my NDR's bonus to make them pay back my pension saving. So every year in December I get my 990 back, and it only costs me like 1,200 brutto. Bruto. Yeah.
No. So I think that's a good insight. Some jobs might have these opportunities. You would always want to do them.
Eigen bijdrage van een groepsverzekering of individueel pensioentoezegging. It's also possible if they provide it, but it's a different kind of taxation when you get paid out. If it's only contributions by your employer, you get taxed when you withdraw it, or you get taxed every time you take the monthly payment. If you do with your own contributions, it's taxed more. Yeah, it's tax friendlier.
Oh really? I did not know that. So my employment plan is gonna be taxed heavily at the end of the ride.
Yeah, but if yeah, for sure. Okay. But always let somebody look at it. That's what I can say. A lot of people get the choice. Do I take a one-time payment, or do I get a monthly dividend? And they always choose wrong. They take the one-time payment and get taxed 45 or like 51%, stuff like that. It's fucked. But
yeah, the monthly is usually better, but yeah, it depends on what you want to do with the money. If you want to buy a house, it's better to actually get it out.
It depends on what you earn. You get it? If you have a shitty pension, it's okay because you still are in the low echelons of the income tax. But if you earn a decent amount of pension, or you're with or you have a second house with your renting out or stuff like that, everything adds up to your income, then it's better to take the one time. But if you have a shitty pension, it's better to take a monthly.
Okay. But yeah, so after that, we get back to the same block that if you don't have any employer match for your retirement account, and then you come to do you have any high interest rate debt? So this means even here it's saying a rate of 10% or higher. I think we can, for Europeans, make this a bit lower, because for us, I think high interest rate.
It's no. If you go with your debit accounts, you can activate that you can go below 0, and then the interest rate is around that level. But if you stay below 0 longer than 30 days, it becomes ongeoorloofd, so unauthorized credit, because it's not the purpose that it's longer. Yeah, and then it's like fucking 19 or 20%.
So any interest rate above 10 is still valid for Europeans, or what do you say?
Yeah, it's very current. It's very courant.
Fuck.
Yeah, but you were confronted by it, even you don't know it. But with Bolero, at the time it was 0%, and everything you're on the below 0, there was an interest rate. If you look up those terms of agreement nowadays, bro, that interest rate is like 15, 20, 21%.
I think they learned from us.
There's no more free money for the brainless turbo trading bench.
Let's say we really abused the Bolero system. Not my proudest moments, but it was definitely fun to have a little bit of hope to get a big payout. But I learned from
somebody else's money.
The bank's money. Oh no! Whoa! Oh no!
It only cost you dearly. I don't care. I hope you're happy.
Well, I tried.
Oh, no. I take that back.
Don't say
I
positive
got way
things
out
to
of
me.
hand.
Yeah. This is getting too long. You're starting to get friendly with me. We should wrap this up a bit, I think.
Yeah, I'm playing TFT already, so.
I like that. So this right part, I don't think it's that important, but it basically means if you get personal happiness or physiological happiness from paying off your debts quicker, then you always want to do that. You want to increase the payments and get that debt as fast as possible out of your life, so you can actually get that relief and get that weight off your shoulders that you've been carrying for a long time. Because interest rates higher than 10%, you don't want to fuck with that shit, you know? Like, you think like, oh, I can put it off for half a year maybe. No. You're really getting fucked over. So
Yeah, it's crippling that, yeah.
yeah.
But a lot of people, especially in our parts, credit is not something cool like it is in the
indeed.
American way.
So we're lucky.
It's really
that
you can only take out a loan for your house, and that's it. I notice with a lot of people, they get looked down upon if they have to take out a loan for a car or for like a TV or something. It's really the mentality right here, especially in landelijk Limburg. Maar kon niet uitgeven wat je had, hè. Dus you only can spend what you have.
Do you think that's a good mindset, or you don't think so?
I think in times with high interest it's very good, but it's a very naive way of looking at the financial system as it is. When there are basically zero interest rates, you should be crazy. Next time, and I know this for sure, if maybe
COVID.
in like COVID, it was to stimulate the consumption, but you never know. When they want to fight a recession, we just purposely built, to say it that way. They will lower the interest rates again, and if they get ever below like fucking 1.5%, that's the time, if you have the means to get into the real estate game. For real.
Just buy everything you can.
Yeah, and they just buy a small apartment to rent it out. That way you can pay off part of your loan with the payments that your rent boy or rent girl, how do you say it, renter, makes, and you pay the difference. Maybe it will be like 400, 500 euros each month, but at the end of the trip, at the end of the ride, you get a fucking apartment. Huh?
Yeah.
It's very cheap when interest rates are low. And
I've thought about this for parking spots. Do you have any thoughts on that? If that's like a good thing to think about?
Parking spots?
Yeah, because they're like more approachable, I think. They don't require a hefty loan, and I think they will also become more scarce and scarce towards the future, you know?
Yeah, sounds logical in a way, but also sounds a bit weird. Parking spots, bro, it's so very local.
Yeah, I think it's because in Antwerp there's a lot of parking. Like there's not a lot of availability always. Definitely in certain areas, and I think if I had money and interest rates were low, I think buying up a lot of parking spots would be a good call. But that's just my idea.
It can be, yeah.
But
I don't know about the parking lot game. But anyway, if you make if you have like a half bomb, if you know if I put in 10 euros I get out 11, then you can take a look. Would it cost me €1 to loan 10 euros? And if it's less than €1, you should you have to take out as many loans as you can.
Yeah.
Decent loans, huh? Not putting yourself out there like my American friends.
Okay, ik ken het niet, maar I'll just laugh to not make you uncomfortable. Alright, let's go to the next step. and that's actually to increase your emergency fund. So basically, we had this small 1,000 euros that we first want to build, and then non-essential bills, and then employer retirement account, pay off high interest rate debts, and then we have increase your emergency fund. So the rule of thumb would be to have like an emergency fund that is at least 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, and this means having it actually in euros, in money in your account somewhere, just gathering dust, you know, like you don't know when you have to use it, but it has to be there when you want to use it, you know, or when you need to use it.
Yeah.
Want is a bad word.
So it echt, I would put it in Fidelity. I like a high saving account.
You have a Fidelity account?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna write this down.
We have made plans and budgets for the house, and there is a certain amount of money which will not be needed in the foreseeable future, but we know one time we will take this and this and this. But in the meantime, it is in the Fidelity account.
Okay.
So,
no, it's good insight, because I am just storing my emergency fund in my savings account, but I might as well just open a new account and.
But it should not be the only account you have, huh? Or
why
to
not?
be sure. Because the moment you take 1 cent of it, that 1 cent was better off in a normal account.
What's the point then of going into the Fidelity account?
It has the Fidelity premium.
So what's the catch then? You can only take it out after a certain amount of period, or?
No. If you put 10 euros in and you take 1 euro out, the 9 euro, if they are on the account for 12 months or longer, they will have brought up more interest. But if you put on 10 euros and you take out the 10 euros before 12 months, you have earned virtually nothing, because your base rent, which looks every day at how much is in the account, is very low, and the Fidelity, like the Fidelity premium, for leaving the money there for at least 12 months is very high. The rent is structured differently.
Only if you can miss the money, or like for an example, emergency fund, but then you might want to keep the small emergency fund in your savings account, and then the actually addition of that emergency fund you can put into a Fidelity account.
Yeah, I think that's
that would be a
fine
good
way
way.
of. Yeah.
Okay. So after that, we have paying off moderate interest rate debts. So this is usually around 4 and 5%. I think that is the more standard interest rate debts that we have, like for example buying a house or a car, I think are more in that range of percentages, if I'm not wrong.
At this point,
it's probably a bit higher.
Yeah. If you take out a loan now for a car, it is at least 4.55%. Yeah.
So I think these are probably a bit higher right now, but that's usually considered moderate interest debt, because everybody accumulates.
It's not bad debt, you know.
Yeah. It's not the worst debt to have. Credit cards.
No.
Like what were we talking about before? How do you call it if you owe borrow money?
Ja, een ongeoorloofde debitstand.
Yeah, so if you have a debit card and you are taking out more money than you have, you will probably get into the high interest rate debt.
Yeah, it's actually interest you pay because it's not set up as a loan. It's like a credit line, and if you don't pay it back in 30 days, it should be qualified as a longer term loan, and then you pay fines, and those fines are the higher interest notes. But it's still okay. There are worse things.
Yeah, they don't really want to close you off, so they like send you emails now and then, and
you
then at
can just owe us more and more. Thank you.
And then at some point they stop sending, and then a few months later, all of a sudden you get this email from a deurwaarder, and then you're like, the debt has been transferred to
only,
somebody else.
It's only the beginning, bro.
But we won't go into depth about that one. So eventually, if you paid off all that debt, and I don't think like there is a sweet spot, right? You don't want to put all your money towards paying off your debt, but I think at that stage it would be your primary source of money you have left, or your primary.
I think if you have a lot of debts, that generates the most of your costs, because
indeed.
It is very dependent how your debts are structured. If you have like a fixed rate, it's quite okay, I believe. It's not the worst. But if you have like running contracts, like when the interest rates goes up, your interest rates goes up as well. That's fucking dangerous. Then the economy, like it's the economy stupid. It can really fuck you, and then that would be, not so nice. Getting fucked is nice, but not through the economy.
So that's actually counterintuitive, I would say, because we were talking about before that having low interest rate debts is very good, but if it's not fixed, then you do want to pay it off, right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. You always, zeker, for the long run, you always want to have fixed, because if you lock in your interest rates and it will drop, you can refinance. But if you have like a variable, if it changes along with the market rates, it's better to get out of it, because if the interest rates rises, it has nothing to do with you. Your costs go up. You have to pay more. You have to you have to rebudget again. So that's, if possible, always choose for the fixed rate.
Okay, but you usually pay a little bit higher when closing or when making
sometimes not.
No.
With right now, it's more profitable. Wait, how was it structured? If you take fixed, it was for. Oh, it depends on how the market rate has evolved. When the markets are going down, like the interest rate is going down significantly or structurally, it will be more expensive. So your first interest rate will be higher, but after that it will, if the interest rates rise, they will give it to you cheaper, because they think it's gonna rise, so the next time it gets revised, it's already casa for us.
I'm not fully following that. So basically, if the market is going up, then
if the interest rates, the market interest rates are rising, it will be cheaper to take the choice for the variable.
For the variable.
No, and when when they want to encourage you to take that one, and if they are dropping, it is more expensive to take the variable, because next time it will be cheaper.
Okay, so it's just about what they want to sell, and then they are like, okay, we're gonna put the fixed rate a bit lower because we want people to get a fixed rate.
Ja.
Oké.
Als het stijgt, dan willen ze niet dat je een fixed rate pakt, omdat je dan er eigenlijk onder gaat zitten vrij snel. Als het dan zaken is, dan willen ze wel dat je een fixed rate pakt, maken ze die goedkoop dan de variabele.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that. All right.
I will not tell you.
So the next step, if you... Sorry?
I said my Aatrox is finally level 2. Okay, so...
yeah, he's playing some League of Legends, but whatever. So the next step of this will be evaluate if you can add any more contribution towards your retirement. So basically meaning if you have not maxed out your retirement, or if you have another option for retirement, so you have pension funds and you have long-term savings accounts, and both of those are financially advantageous, so you get 30% back on each contribution that you make. So if you have not maxed those out, this would be the moment after you paid all your moderate interest debts, or like the max amount you can pay each month. Then you would be able to max out your retirement account or your long-term savings account.
I think that the fiscally advantageous ways of saving for your retirement should be the first investments you will ever make.
Yeah,
There's
I think
no
in this
other
way.
investment.
I think in this way it's structured, right? The only other one is your employment retirement account, but
Yeah, because that's even better.
Yeah, that's even better indeed, because it's on your brutto loan.
Oh.
All right, so after you've maxed out all of those, I think for me it's like I think 220 euros a month I'm paying towards both of them. Well, in combination, I mean. So I maxed out my retirement, I think, right? Or do I have something left? Oh, I have the TAC, wat is het? The other one that you have?
21.
TAC 21?
Ik heb 21 en TAC 21, TAC 23. Together they can go up to 2,350 each year. So you do the math, I don't know.
I think I only have one of them, right? I don't have the more than one.
You have only the one with the risk. Yeah, that's not boring. It's different.
It's different because we talked about it, but whatever. So don't mind that. It's basically a third possible account that you can get, TAC 21. But it's only interesting in certain situations. So you have to ask your banker or Jesse, if you ever get hold of him, to explain you that.
It depends how much money you have. Not everybody gets.
All right, then we get to the interesting part, actually. Are you expecting any large required purchases or personal investments in the near future? So that's what we were talking about before. If you do have any of those in the near future, then save the money, save the amount that you need, put it in a savings account, in a checking account. It doesn't matter, somewhere that you don't be able to invest it or lose it, basically.
Oh, so yeah, that's basically what we talked about before.
Yeah.
Like if you have very specific plans that are almost 100% sure they're gonna happen, or if you want them to happen, don't take the risk with that money. Just put it in a boring way, but you will thank yourself later. If you don't have to explain why hydrogen is not the new nuclear power, and that's why you lose 40% of the house. Oh, sorry, baby, we're gonna have to live on the one-bedroom apartment after all.
But at least you have that hydrogen stock, it might pop off.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
In Norse krone. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, without any financials, and yeah, it was a very good investment. We can talk about this another time, but Boris, you really sacked us. No, you're a perfect attribution towards the Prometheus.
I will take a quick look. I think your investments are still the worst, but
I'm not sure. Things are getting close. Plug Power and Everfuel, they're like hinging towards getting the top.
Ik zal Everfuel invullen.
Top spot.
De laatste koers van Everfuel heb ik al lang niet meer ingevuld.
Yeah, it's maybe for the better. So basically, I don't know what this really means. Are you currently saving at least 15% of your pre-tax income for retirement? I think it's just another maxing out, right? Or am I seeing something different?
If you follow the flow chart, it's when you have paid off all the debt, and it's basically when you're in a situation where you don't are saving up for a very specific kind of plan, but where you don't have any debts anymore and you have your emergency fund.
Yeah.
Then you can look at, okay, maybe I don't have to make I set aside a fixed amount. I'm doing my provisions for the good old days,
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's time to look at what can I do with 15%. I think that there's a luxury position to say this amount of percent goes to this.
To my old age retirement.
To the savings. Yeah.
So I think it's basically maybe going a bit above the max, just in case you want to keep an extra buck for the old days. But I don't think we need to pay too much attention to this part because we already talked about like Jesse said, it's obvious. First, pay essentials, get us an emergency fund, pay off your debt, and then max out your pension and investment funds for the future. Then we have all this 401k. This is not really important for us. For us, Europeans, it's just the employer contribution towards your retirement account that is important. All this other stuff is not really of any use to us Europeans. But for Americans, it can be interesting maxing out your 401k. It's also, I think, tax advantageous. I think all these retirement plans. But basically, it's similar to the retirement plans that we have, but just more elaborate. That you can choose more freely what you want to invest in. It's kind of bullshit, but whatever. It's America, of course. So if you're at least saving as much as possible for the old ages, like 15%, I think is a very generous number. If you come close to that, I think you're very solid. So next we get do you have a qualified high deductible health plan and are thus eligible for an investable HSA? I don't think we have that in Europe. Do you know anything about that?
Deductible health plan.
I think it's just something like a healthcare insurance that you can use for zelfstandige or something like that, and that you can deduct as an expense. I think something like that.
If you have, als je een eigen business, if you have your own business in Belgium, you can have certain forms of certain ways to build up your pension. And some you do with your own company, and some you do as a private person. I think these are within your own company, like the IPTV episode, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
so basically, taking care of your own with the amount that you can deduct from taxes by putting it in as an expense. Basically, I think that's what this part is saying. So. Take advantage of the Belgian system. That's what it's saying.
Yes. Always take advantage.
Next step would be then, do you have children and wish to help pay for some of or all of their college expenses? So if you do...
college is a scam, just don't do it.
Everybody has different opinions on it. And coming from somebody who didn't finish college...
Why? I did finish college, I'm a fucking idiot.
Bachelor? Master?
Bachelor.
Oh, I thought so. You didn't finish.
Oh, get the fuck out. You're such a fucking faggot, dude. Like, I will fuck you in the ass till you love me, bitch.
No homo. You forgot.
No homo. Oh, shit.
Well, I got you.
This was homo. This was...
well, let's say...
This one was homo. Fucking faggot, jongen.
We don't
I
use
studied for 6 years. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think that's the bachelor's problem. I think that's a you problem.
I did 6 years for education, about 3 years, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a you problem.
And then they asked me to please go away and stop.
I think I did 6 years for my... No, I did 7. Damn, I almost had the same... could have made so much fun. But I did 1 year that didn't count, pharmacy. So I actually did 6 years only, and I got something. I don't know if it's better, but something more paper, I would say. But whatever. So if you have kids, you want to think about saving for them for later. And otherwise, then here comes the real things. So we have all these steps that are so boring and so mundane that you have to follow, because if you want to live good at your old age, you definitely want to follow these steps. But now we actually, if you have money left, and I have money left, so I can be at this point. So actually, you can also be at this point. It's not that rare to go through all of this and still have money left. Wat Snijder comment wou maken?
Nee, I mean, when you advance throughout being a young adult within the limits of your own life, I mean, you notice a difference between the last 2 years and the first, not the first 2 years, but the 2 years before that. I think you have made progress. Not to compliment you, but just because you're getting old. And I mean, you have a fiscal portfolio.
Yeah, it's good, right? Did you expect that 4 years ago?
I've been saying it a lot of times since I think we had to play a game of chess to decide if you would come or not. I don't think it was that willingly from you.
I think, but, in my head, I immediately said yes, but maybe that's just copium.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's too long ago. It's 3 years ago or something. Yeah. I only have short
I think everybody with a decent amount of money, if you earn like 1800 or 19 euros a month, it should be able
to get
at
point.
least at these steps. At least.
If you don't have kids and high debts and stuff.
Yeah. But if you're not, if you earn like 1900 euros a month net, and you are not at this point that you
then you have too much expenses.
Just check step 1. Where the fuck is your money going? And if it's like coffee shop, the paradox, maybe you have to make some changes. Or you can grow your own wheat like this guy.
Yeah, it was not so successful.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not so good wheat. I don't know. I'm not really fond of it. It's just laying there in a bowl, just gathering dust.
Just sell it, bro. Just sell it.
Bro, I got headaches from it, so I don't think I want to sell that shit.
Sell it to Nico or so. I don't know.
I'm just gonna bake a brownie from it or something like that. Anyways, at this point you have 2 options. Would you like to retire early, or do you want to have immediate goals?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't say yes to both. I think you have to say yes to one of them. So at this point you can think like, sounds like a you problem. So, Mr.
Fucking nikt, man. Echt fucking nikt, yeah.
Why you do this? I just wanted one normal conversation with my friend. No, okay,
it's fucking 9 uur, joh. Rond is af.
Yeah, we're almost there, but you're like keeping me talking about this too. Oh, I cannot pick both. Like you just want to talk longer with me. I know that, we know that, we all know that. So let's just get on with it. Okay. So you can only pick one of both, I think, for the normal people. Otherwise, you're a superhuman like Jesse. So you can focus on retiring early, or you can focus on getting your goals, your midlife goals or whatever, done at this point. So if you want to retire early, this is such an American thing again. I don't like this name even. The Mega Backdoor Roth IRA. You know, like who came up with that fucking name? Like, that's so stupid. Like.
But I don't get the point of early retirement, you know.
You don't?
If you don't, why? If you like your job, well,
yeah, that's different. But I think
if you retire at like 45 or something, and something goes wrong and you have to get back to working, or I lost all my money on the lottery, I don't know.
No, I think
there's a lot of time you can kill it.
I think what it means, like to retire early, is to be able to have enough passive income so that you can retire early, right? Is that not the whole thing?
But why would you retire like and stop working for a boss like that? But
Yeah,
why
that's
the
that's
fuck?
up to what you want to do, right? If you want to sit at home
Yeah.
all day, that's fine. But I guess for most people, indeed, that's not really retiring. That's just being crippled. Sorry for the crippled people out there.
All 300,000 of you, Hoboken.
Why are you pulling Hoboken into this one all of a sudden? What did
Ik
they
weet
do
dat
to
niet,
you?
jongen. Ligt er geen Umico-fabriek of zo, ja, met veel te veel lood en een ding. Wow, onze Kevin is geel.
Jezus Christ. Luckily we have 0 viewers, so I think
Dit ik gezegd dat mensen hyped waren, klopt zeg.
they were, but
verschijten.
yeah, I don't know. People just don't know enough about this topic. So I hope that people listen to the flowchart because it's actually a good flowchart. Do you agree or not?
I kind of agree. You know, it's
It's a bit American,
for
but
us.
yeah.
Yeah, and for us, you've taken a look at your financial life yourself. I do it on a daily basis. For me, it's very basic. For you, it's probably also very basic.
Okay, but that's
I
not
think a lot
fair
of
to
people
say, you
need.
know? Yeah.
A lot of people need this kind of structure, like, oh goddamn, of course I have to do this, or they don't have the courage and they can use this like collect a capstock, that they can always go back, look, okay, I'm on step 1, on step 2, oh, I made progress.
Yeah, indeed.
Well,
But I think
it can serve many purposes, but I don't think it's at all practical to use in your day life.
it's not revolutionary or something like that. I think it's indeed the basics, but like you said, I think a lot of people miss these basics, even at the early, especially at younger age. I think once the real bills start getting in.
But I mean, if you start living on your own, and you don't have, if you haven't made a fucking budget, or like where the fuck goes the money, then I don't know. Then this list
indeed.
will not help either.
No, but the budget is the first step, and that's why I scrolled back up. Like, I think a lot of people actually are stuck at the first step. Actually, they don't know what they're spending. They don't know how much you're saving. They don't know what they can put money in. Like,
all right, let's dumb it down then for those people. Just go out to your best Toys R Us or like Bart Smith, buy a very big box of Monopoly. Just count the amount of money that's coming in every month, and you make different piles, and you pay everybody. Then you know where the money goes. Do that for 3-4 months. You will see a pattern, and maybe you can draw conclusions from there. If that's not enough, yeah, look, maybe you should have stayed in school. I don't know.
Well, I think another part for some people is, as long as money is coming in, they don't care if it's going out. And I think that's a mindset that maybe for us is a bit or way different, at least now. I think a few years ago, if you asked me, do you budget? I would say I would be laughing on the ground like, bro, I just spent 4,000.
I only smoke 4 grams a week, so yeah, that's budgeting for me.
I would be laughing like, bro, I spent 4,000 on a turbo each week. Like, what is that? What is that budgeting? But okay, kind of weird flex, but whatever. Anyway,
we all made some very bad decisions, but you would be surprised how little people that do.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, I was expecting, like, standardly, like if somebody from younger than 30 walks through the door, they say, yeah, I want to start investing, so I come to you. I thought, bro, you have not lost money on the crypto market or the turbo market or options. No.
How addictions.
How do I invest
people are normal out there.
5,000 euros from, bro, just lose it. That's the best way to learn it, you know?
That's definitely not the best advice you can give.
It's not the best advice, but it actually is. I've seen people who get paid out their groepsverzekering and they get worse off within 2 years. They spend it, they try to invest it, then they go to biotech companies and they try it with, instead of €1,000, they try it with €15,000. If you make mistakes, you learn from it. It sucks to be broke, but it's better to make a bad decision when you're broke. It cannot be worse. You can be broke a little bit longer. But if you get your money that's meant for your retirement and then you have to make those mistakes, oh bro, your wife will leave you, you get half a house, and you have to keep the kids probably. So you know that's really losing in life. It's better to do it early on.
It's usually about who gets the kids. I think it's about who wants the kids.
No, who has to raise the kids?
But you're actually very true, and that's how I got to sleep all these years that passed.
You're on a different level, huh?
You don't have to talk to me like that, you know?
I've seen you write
You don't have to talk to me like that! You are exactly the same.
In front of your little computer you have written down rules, and if I follow these rules I will not lose money, and that's the same way, and then 2 weeks later I did it again.
That's awareness. That's awareness. That's awareness. And I'm trying to control it the best I can. That's just how it is.
Oh, bro, je wordt echt fantastisch.
Bro, it's not like you were the saint that invested in only good things, you know? Like, you definitely had your own share of bad calls.
I've lost a lot of money, I can say that.
See, I think we had the same boat.
At least 12,000.
Yeah, I don't... Actually, I shared it probably before how much I lost, but...
Share it again then, yeah?
Let's see
Rogue C.
Let's see what I have here. That's my spreadsheet. I think on Bolero I lost 17.5k, and that's when I stopped doing turbos. So
this year,
no, that's total. That's when I stopped doing turbos.
And was that the amount you were in the negative, or?
Yeah, that's my last money. I mean, like, all the money I poured into Bolero would amount to 17.5k.
And now it's on like 12k or something like that now.
What, 12k? I've not put anything in Bolero back.
Yeah, it's zero. I know. Okay. And then your very magnificent crypto investments. Those are. Oh, current portfolio. Wait a minute. Ah, fuck. Ah. Ik denk dat ik mijn liefst heb gezien. Oh, manneke. Ik zit al heel een tijd.
So crypto is indeed another. How much would I lost there? Probably another 5k I lost there, something like that.
Where? On crypto?
But I have not. I can't keep track of that because it's too much.
No, but you've lost 7k in Wonderland as well. Don't forget.
No, not 7k. Definitely not that much.
Okay, 5k then. Whatever. Go back to your current portfolio. Stop. Again, nu. Do you have 8,700 stocks?
Yeah, but that's calling pension funds and Prometheus, so...
And Prometheus...
It's like this.
Wait.
So... Yeah, 3,680 from Prometheus. And then some from my pension funds. This one I cashed out, so I didn't count this one. And then some iShares.
You have no stonks. You have all well diversified funds.
Yeah, but they're not doing great, so fuck you. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, that's basically it. I think I probably lost about 25k in my younger years. Now I'm grown up and matured. I'm not doing stupid shit again. Until last week, and then I poured 1k into a random crypto coin because I liked the name, and today Bitcoin crashed a bit, so yeah, I lost a few hundred euros. But not so much. It was just a panic sell, I think. Anyway, I think we're almost at the end of the ride here. So if you have any money left at the end, you can spend it on whatever you want. You know, like you've done all the retirement shit. You've done all your bills, your things.
Yeah.
Go out in the
The
world,
thing-
explore some things. Try an ETF. Try buying a bit of crypto. Just don't pour all the money in one place. I think is the best advice that we can give from our own
Make sure
experiences.
you have your emergency funds and maybe stack up another saving account for fun things. But try to just do things. And if you're curious about things, find out if there is a free way to do something. So you don't have to invest at least 3,000 euros to try something. But
Yeah,
when
but
you're young,
that's usually
money
not the
doesn't-
fun part, you know, like
no,
trading with paper. Like, whoa, so much fun.
No, but I mean,
No,
if
no,
you
I get
you
it.
have no experience, or you've never lost money on the crypto market, just lose a little bit fast. I lose another little bit also fast, and try to lose a big amount of money a little bit slower. But it will be okay. Just lose money, bro. When you're young, you have money to lose if you have kids.
This
to
whole
feed and
episode about how you should invest money, and then the end conclusion is just lose money and
But
you'll
we
learn.
didn't talk about investing, you know. It was only about debt management and what you have to do before you can get to investing.
What
but
do you want to talk about investment? We don't want to hear your picks, you know? Like, nobody cares about Okta or whatever. Like, nobody knows even about this. People don't even know what an ETF is. Alright. I guess, I guess I triggered him, so, that will be the end of the episode. This is a standard experience between me and Jesse. We're very good friends. I can talk everything, or I can say everything now because he's gone. So, oh shit, he wants to get back. Oh, what's up?
What's say?
Nothing. I was just
connection
talking.
interrupted,
I was just talking about how good our relationship is and how good of a friends we are.
Oh, get fucking fucked, you fucking faggot, man.
You see, he kind of loves me in some way. He's always calling these homo slurs, but then
I only love him in a sexual way, so.
But then he said no homo, so he's actually the F word himself, you know. I'm just saying. Not gaslighting here. It's you using your own words against you.
I don't own any words because I'm white. Let's not start a racial thing. But if you were racial... So, we're done, or what's...
No, I think to end off, like, what would your first solid pick be if you haven't invested in anything yet? Just to finish off for the last listener that made it through all this horrible end. What would be your first pick? That is not one of your shit stock picks. No, not one of your shit picks.
But it depends. If it's somebody who doesn't want to be very busy with it, if they just want to invest and don't look at it, just buy a fucking ETF or a bank fund.
Alright, and which
best way
ETF
to get,
would you suggest?
A worldwide market-weighted physical full replication.
So
Doesn't
that would
matter
be
which one.
that would, for example,
MSCI
be
World.
ETF MSCI Worlds that are usually core ETFs.
Or core iShares, doesn't matter. Just one that invests in the whole of the world. And my preferred division is 40-40-20, 40 America, 40 Europe, 20 in the emerging markets.
Yeah, that's too in depth already.
Yeah.
So I would say look for iShares and then MSI Core, something like that. Usually iShares has a lot of good ETFs that are very famous and very traded well, so that's a plus thing because you can get more easily in and out then for a better price. And usually you just want to stack those. Just buy them each month, each 2 months, each 3 months, a little amount, like not a little amount, but just a decent amount. For example, at least €1,000 or something each 3 months, something like that, and then you'll be off very good. Like, you don't have to do any more work than that, because if you listen to us, you'll just lose 25k trying to understand what we're talking about. So don't.
If you want to make money, don't make any decision. Just buy whatever is high. That sounds contradictory, but if you buy any ETF with some sort of focus, you are making decisions. And if you believe that with the very limited amount of time that you put in your analysis of the whole worldwide economy, you make a better decision than the market, make the decision. But if you are a bit realistic and you say, I don't want to think about it, just buy a worldwide market represented ETF.
Yeah.
Make no decisions. Just buy it. Don't think about it. Don't try to think about it. Otherwise you will think, like Bench, like me, that you see something nobody else in the whole world is seeing. Oh, this stock, it's gonna triple, it's gonna quadruple, Get in before
this
it's too late.
crypto, yeah.
Bro,
we've talked about this enough.
You can be sure everybody's fucking stupid. Don't overestimate yourself. Just put your money where everybody's putting his money. That's a safe way. It's the herd mentality, I know, and you will get only a market-conform return, but that's okay because you don't put in any effort. And if you look for 20 minutes, that's not real effort. I mean,
yeah, you look for 20 minutes for an ETF and you just stack that one till the end of the days. Like,
yeah,
that's basically
the less you have to decide, the better.
Honestly, that's in all fairness, it's still the best strategy out there. Hedge funds, banks have difficulties beating just normal ETFs that invest in boring shit each day.
That's
another discussion that Jesse wants to open up.
No,
but
ETFs are not around long enough to prove anything, bro.
Okay, but
the ETFs and they
in
ETFs,
the time they have been around.
No. The ETFs always talk about the benchmark, which has evolved around 10% for the last 40 years. Bull fucking shit. There's no ETF which delivers more than 7% for more than 15 years or since inception. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up.
Smoke and mirrors. Okay. You can find me an ETF that has more than 7% annually for 15 years.
What do you mean? Does that mean over the 15 years or each year?
Each year for 15 years, because that's what all those ETF guys say. You can expect between 7 or 10% each year because this index did this. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Let's
watch the S&P 500. I think it returned like 13% over the last 10 years.
Yeah, but a specific ETF, huh? You don't invest in that index, you invest in an ETF. It's a fund, and that funds.
Yeah, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF.
Yeah.
Let me check. Can I get a graph of
or
this
they're
one?
not around long enough.
What's the range over here? Can I zoom out? Why is this so shit graph? I just have to go to Yahoo Finance, I guess. Vanguard S&P 500.
Een ETF, geen fund, hè?
What's the difference between the index and the fund and the ETF?
An ETF is an instrument which has the goal of replicating that, but it never does. It's a very big difference.
23rd, but this is a fund. Wait, I just have to log into Bolero because I want to beat you in this one.
There's no problem.
I need my phone then. No, okay, people, I have to abort this this streaming just because I want to make a point to Jesse. Let's check this out. Let's do it's me. It's me. It's a me, Mario. Alright. Alright, we are back normally. Alright. So here you can see my beautiful Polaroid portfolio.
Can I see it as well?
Here we are, the beautiful graph.
Oof.
We even were positive at some point in life, and then I decided to fuck it all up. Boom, I lost.
What went wrong?
I lost about 5k in 5 days.
Did you withdraw some money or what?
I think some turbo might have hit, or might have been cashed out, you know, like if they don't expire yet. So yeah, sometimes even negative can happen, so don't follow that advice. But can you still see it, or is it paused for you? Yeah? Can you still see
I can see it, yeah.
Okay, because for me it's paused, but I didn't know that people could still see it.
I maybe you're just an MCI World ETF now. Yeah, but
here,
try to find everything.
last 10 years, 137%. So that actually means 17% a year.
No, it's way less. First off, because it's compounding. But
that doesn't matter. It's still the net return, you know. If it's compounding or not, because funds are also compounding. So
yeah, funds are compounding, but if you have on 10 years, wait, this 10 years?
Yes, 10 years is.
Yeah, so it's not 70%, it's like 15 or 13. But it's not longer around than I don't believe there is any ETF that can show me at least 15
look
years.
At this.
Yeah, bro, I look at this. This is a very, very short term, and all those people with fire. They say, you have to put in this instrument for 40 years, and you can get this.
Okay, but that's indeed bullshit. Not fair. It's not around for that long, indeed. But you can't deny that over the last 10 years, it had a pretty amazing return.
Yeah, but that's with everything.
I don't know. I don't see anything that has this kind of return.
On 10 years?
Like steadily for a fund, indeed.
For a fund, okay. I have to go to Belgisch.be for a while, right?
Yeah, now we're in a cock race.
Ja. Dan moet ik al niks duurzaam zoeken. Dan zal ik ons core fonds zoeken.
I want to find the message you sent me, but it doesn't show in Bolero. The please pay message. There were some good times. So yeah, there are definitely some good ETFs out there. So
don't believe it.
I think I've showed them before on the Monday check-in moments, but the iShare score are pretty solid. So iShare score.
Hier, jongen. Je moet zelf al uitrekenen, hè?
Are you sharing something, or what are you doing?
I'll give you the link. How the fuck do I do that? Was hier chat? Siri, please chat.
Tekstkanaal. Left side.
General.
Ja.
En daar is nog een niet gespecialiseerde. Hè? Als je iets pakt van een of andere ons.
So what is the return here? 10 years, 9.5 or what?
Each year, compounded. Dus dat... Wacht. Hoe zit je? We komen nu terug naar het ding hier. Kijk, je moet zelf tellen van 2014 tot waar de koers nu staat.
But it says here at the left, actuariële, what the fuck is that for a word?
Dat is uw actuele geannualiseerde rendement. Ja.
Dus that's the real one, right? 9.5%?
Ja, maar dan moet je, dat is geannualiseerd, hè. Dus dat houdt in dat je... Ja, maar ik ga gewoon voor de eerste koers en op de laatste koers en dan heb je ook die 170% halen.
Ah, this fund is also not older than 10 years, so you can...
zeker wel.
No, if I do alles, it's the
Ja,
same
maar
graph.
wij mogen van de FSMA niet langer dan 10 jaar. Dat is bij wet verboden.
So the first is 115.6, and then at the back is 27.4.11. So...
Oh god, please. Kijk, ik zal een andere zoeken.
27.4.11 minus, what was the first one? 1156. So you made 185.5 euros on 10 years.
Dat is meer dan de uwe. En dat is met beheerskosten en bullshit, hè. Jij zit op 171.
What was mine? I started at 28.11.5 and ended on... Wait, but I have to take percentage of this. So I have to divide this by 115.6. Oh shit. 115.6. So it's 1.3 times... Yeah, it doesn't make sense what I'm calculating. I don't know how to calculate this. Is it good?
You subtract the end value with the starting value, and then you divide it by the starting value. Then you get the percentage change ten aanzien van de starting value.
Yeah, but that means 1.37. That it should be.
Ja, dan moet je maal 100 doen voor het percentage, dus 130%. En hier gaat dat 173 zijn.
No, 130% is not right? Or is it? Okay,
it's echt rendement,
yeah, okay, true, yeah. So 137, and then for the other one we have 75.485 minus 28.115 divided by 28.115. Oof, that's a clear winner. That's 30% more.
On 10 jaar, ja. Oké. Ja, maar nog. Bullshit. Ja, ga maar verder terug dan, hè. Fuck you.
That's okay. I'm not advocating for one or other. I'm saying both are good. That's what I'm saying.
Nee. Het een doet je allemaal zelf en dan zit je op een bolrol te doen en dan hangt je daarvan af om jezelf te kunnen doen. Het een is met advies, het andere is zonder advies. Hè. Dat is een groot verschil.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that advice from you, you know, like I can do better on my own. Sorry.
Zeker niet. Ik zal uw portefeuille scanbaar maken, jongen. Fucking triest.
Hey, that's doxing, that's illegal.
Dat maakt niet uit. Je kunt me niks maken, joh.
I will cancel you with my 0 viewers.
You will cancel me.
I'll cancel you. No, okay, I think we're getting besides the point of this whole podcast. I think we're just trying to shit on each other a bit, but that's okay.
Sustainable equities.
Anyway, let's wrap up this episode. Or you want anything to say for the listeners out there, all the 100 maybe potential listeners in the future?
Never trust a green bank. Just go to a red or a blue bank, and that's it.
What's a green bank?
Argenta, BNP, Giran.
Okay. That's very specific advice, but yeah, coming from somebody who works at the red bank, I guess very logical.
Wacht maar.
What do I have to wait for?
No, you don't have to wait. You don't have to do anything, man. Yeah.
All right.
He's awesome.
Thank you, Jesse, for this enlightening conversation. I actually learned a few things, so it was not only for beginners, I would say, because I'm an expert on this case, and even I had to learn some few things. He already left, so that makes it easy for me. I don't have to do any intro or give credits to him, so thanks anyway, Jesse. Hopefully you see this one day and you be like, whatever, maybe I should have stayed a bit longer and gave him proper outro with him. But anyways, that's it for today. I don't think I have another podcast lined up, so maybe I'll take a month break or something. I don't know. I have to think about it if I want to do or with who I want to do the next podcast. So if anybody feels like they want to be on the podcast next in 2 weeks from now, hit me up, and otherwise I'll think about who is next. But I'm not gonna pressure myself into doing it exactly every 2 weeks. So if there's nothing to do in the last until then I'm just gonna roll with it and focus more on the other things I'm doing. Without further ado, I'm gonna eat, and be sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I'm very active on that one, so if you want to be more up to date of what I'm doing, just make sure that you follow that. Anyway, peace.